This thing on? Thank you for that courtesy laugh here. I I really hope you guys are willing to join us instead of Mark Jackson for tonight. You can mute your TV here, sync up with us, YouTube if you like that. That's going to get tweeted out momentarily if you're not watching on that. And we are ahead of you. You can pause us and sync up. That handy little camera in the bottom left will enable you to do that. And let's get to work here, starting with, of course, the fact that Kawhi Leonard is not playing and you should turn us off right now.
No, I think this is going to be interesting because there will be times in the regular season, at least, when Kawhi Leonard does not play, and I want to see how the Clippers' starting lineup functions. You know, like who has the ball, how do they structure all of this, and yeah, usually, hopefully, Paul George will be available, but I want to see how Doc Rivers tries to make this happen.
Yeah, in this game, a good team, the Bucks, one of the best, maybe the best team in the NBA during the regular season. This Clippers team is still pretty good. They have a lot of options to throw at Giannis. I'll be interested to see how they go here to start the game. Is Zubac going to guard Giannis? Oh, no, actually, they're starting Trez. So, and they're starting Lou Williams. So who's going to guard Giannis for the Clippers? They don't have a ton of help at the rim. I would expect Giannis to have a pretty big game tonight. But then Lou Williams and Montrez in the pick and roll going against the unique Bucks defensive style also be interesting.
And for those of you who are newer to this, welcome. You can ask questions in any one of our platforms. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope. We check all of those, and you can also use the hashtag NBAcast. We'll get it there too.
All right, here we go. Ready to get started. Giannis will take, or no, I'm sorry, this will be Brook Lopez taking the tip against Montrez. Another interesting matchup will be Chris Middleton going up against the Sixers wing. So they're actually continuing to start Patrick Patterson, who has fallen off a little bit. Maybe he'll get the Giannis assignment to start. I don't think he can keep up with him athletically. Here's Williams off the screen, hands off Shamet. You see Brook Lopez waiting way back in the lane. That's the Bucks' defensive style, and they force a turnover immediately here as Shamet lost it. Wes Matthews, a new addition to the Bucks this year on a minimum contract, coming over from the Pacers, replacing Malcolm Brogdon. Here's Bledsoe's three. Great early sign for Milwaukee. Maybe not the shot selection that they're looking for. Clips started off in what looked to be a zone there.
Yeah, and Bledsoe's going to need to be aggressive if they're giving him that much space.
Here they go under the screen. Patterson closed down by Giannis. Tries to go at him. Not a good decision. Yeah, well, it never got back to the front of his back. And now Giannis beating Patterson down floor. That sets up Matthews' right wing three is off. But a couple good looks early for the Bucks here. Williams. There's that pick and roll act. I'm sorry, that was actually Patrick Beverley. Don't worry, we'll get it right here. Now it's Lou Williams trying to draw contact on Bledsoe. Could not. And then he runs into a thicket of Bucks. Bucks defense pretty good early here. Bledsoe feeling it. Left corner. Off. Bledsoe, of course, a former Clipper. It was drafted in the teens way back in the 2010 draft. Developed there and then went to Phoenix in a trade for J.J. Redick and Jared Dudley prior to the 13-14 season. Giannis goes to the fader, not really well contested, but you didn't need to. Misses that. You'd like to see him go a little harder there, I think.
And we've seen the Clippers in this era not really push too hard in transition. I'd like to see them do that a little more without Kawhi and Paul George, but still not in their DNA necessarily.
Williams stopped again. Here's Giannis rejected, gets it back, and lays it in. But Lou Williams finding the going difficult under the rim. He's taking it right to the Bucks defense, but they just will not let you get shots at the rim. That's their scheme. He's going to need to find shooters outside to open things up.
And that was a great job by Giannis, keeping on his feet, not committing hard enough to the layup that he couldn't get his own rebound. So 5-0 lead for the Bucks. The Clippers have only taken 3 shots from the field compared to the Bucks' 6. And part of that is those 3 turnovers already for the Clippers.
Which one is Nate Duncan? That's me.
The taller one.
Is Danny rocking a LaMelo jersey? Yes. I said before the season that I would purchase 3 jerseys that were suggested. I wore one of them last week, which was the Sabonis jersey. I bought this one, Illawarra Hawks LaMelo jersey, and then I accidentally ordered a size that was too small for me, and so I gave it to Danny and said, no, he's wearing it.
Yeah, very comfortable for me. But yeah, it's nice. It is, I believe, the first basketball jersey I've ever worn that had the sponsor on it. So that's a little moment. Also want to mention, just to give him a shout out because he deserves all of them. The stats that you can see at the bottom there, those are from you can check because I believe it's now open to the public. artsyhoops.net is how we get those stats. It's awesome.
Yeah, Min Huang, guy we know from Warriors games, did a really nice job of putting that together, and he can tell you it's something you could never figure out on your own right now, that the Clippers have a 0 offensive rating.
How does the Clippers' offense differ without Kawhi? It changes dramatically because Kawhi has done so much of his damage. It's something we talked about in the 15 and 60. It's either out or coming out shortly. About he does so much with the ball in his hands, and so you need a different ball handler, a different initiator, and it seems like they're going to use Lou Williams in that role. They could theoretically run a little bit more, but I mean, if you're starting Patrick Patterson and Lou doesn't really do that at this point in his career as often, so it's a little bit harder. I think it changes basically everything. I mean, really, you can't do the same stuff without Kawhi because he's unique.
Yeah, and their bench unit really lacks for creators. They have 3 guys on the team really that you want with the ball, and those are 3 really good guys. George and Leonard, those are out tonight. So Lou's going to play a lot. That's why he's starting. But without him, they really don't have a place to go offensively. Is Wes the best option at the 2 for Milwaukee right now? I think so as a starter. I think when they finish games, you might want to go with George Hill, depending on the matchup. But Hill has to come in and back up Bledsoe. So I think you start with Matthews. And also, I'm quite sure that he was promised that starting job when he came there for the minimum.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Bledsoe's defense slipped when he was in Phoenix. Now he's back at a pretty good level in Milwaukee. Gets through that screen. They're setting up some dummy action, though. It's Shamet into the lane. Same play they ran to start, but from the opposite side. Shamet again off screens. Wes Matthews staying with him beautifully. Pass behind Harold. More Bucks transition. Turnover. Here's the oop to Giannis. Oh, and he couldn't hold on. That was about to be a nasty finish. Williams, he's got Shamet, knockdown shooter. Doesn't do it that time. Pushing again is Bledsoe. He's got Giannis on his right, and Clips are back finally. We'll see some more half court. Bledsoe, Giannis backs out. He wants to go at Harold, who's backed way off of him. Giannis will just take it. Way short. He's had a lot of short ones, but this is Brook Lopez just beasting Patterson inside. Lopez is just enormous when he decides to get down there.
And I believe that's 4 offensive rebounds for the Bucks already, including at least 2 second chance buckets.
Miscommunication on a switch. Another missed wide open corner 3 by the Clippers. Screen roll. Middleton has Beverly on his back. Lobs it up. Lopez. Yes, what a pass.
Yeah, great vision by Middleton to see that lane. Now the Bucks are up 9-0, but I do think the Clippers have gotten some good looks that have gone wanting.
Yeah, they should have at least 3 points. Not much going on this possession here. Into the post. Harrell going to face it up. Most likely on Lopez. Crosses over into him. Tough finish. Tip. Not there either. Lopez, he is just, that standing reach is just massive. You're seeing it early here. Middleton with the size advantage on Beverly. Wants it back. Lopez puts him in the screen. Beverly knocks it away. Great defense. 2-on-2. He's got Harrell filling it. Nice job by Giannis getting back on Shamet. Patterson is open for 3, however, and he
maybe got backboard? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, well, if he did, it was just a little pad on the end. That was awful. Patterson started off hitting every 3 in sight the first 2 games against the Lakers and Warriors, and he's fallen off since then back to the OKC Patrick Patterson. Bledsoe looking for the cross screen for Giannis. Instead, just attacks into the lane. He picks up a foul on Shamet. No shot.
And that is, I believe, the first foul of the game on either team. I think Bledsoe wanted a shooting foul. Now, he wasn't into the shooting motion there.
JaMychal Green has come on for Patterson now. They try to get it in. Harrell denying Lopez. They get it. 17 on the clock. Looking to post Middleton. Instead, it's Giannis back to goal. Middleton can't control it. Back to Giannis. Double team. Lopez way out. Splash Mountain goes wanting that time. Williams in the dance with Harrell. Beverly late getting out to the corner, but it didn't matter. His footwork was good enough to get that up, and finally the Clippers on the board almost 5 minutes into
And
this.
Middleton was watching Lou Williams' penetration. That helped create the space for the pass to Beverly, which made the corner three, and that was a turnover by Bledsoe.
Yeah, just one of those inexplicable ones that he has. I mean, that's just a normal crossover. He didn't even knock it away. He just threw it out of bounds.
And worth noting, the Clippers are 5-2, but one of those two losses came without Kawhi.
Yeah, at Utah. Shamet running off some screens. Matthews staying with him. They're trying to get Lou Williams going. His three-pointer going to his left is way short. Giannis looking to push it again. They try to build the wall against him. Lopez back to Giannis. He's got the size advantage. Double team's going to have to come here. Cut comes. Lopez, mid-ranger is open. Yes.
And Harrell is just really conflicted here because he's trying to help as much as he can on Giannis, but then also defend Brook Lopez, who can shoot from everywhere.
Well, and you see Milwaukee, the way they're pushing the ball off these misses, getting the Clippers into cross matches where they have to double team. There's JaMychal Green hitting the shot that Patrick Patterson couldn't. Nice backdoor by Lou Williams to set that up. Order restored for the Clippers for the time being. Bledsoe. Good help off of Middleton by Beverly. Bucks have no spacing on the weak side. Bledsoe will take another three, and he's 2 of 3 from downtown, hitting the jump shot early. Wow, that was awful. I wasn't even ready to start talking again, and they threw it way ahead. Looks like Lopez let Harrell get behind him.
Yeah, and a nice look ahead there from, I think it was Lou Williams who made the pass, and to just reward the guy who's hustling.
Yeah, the reason that happened was Harrell contested the jump shot on the switch by Bledsoe. That probably is actually on Bledsoe to get back, make sure that he has him. Brook Lopez shaking his head at himself, but he was a little bit lower. He's got to get some help from his guard on that play first.
Does Kawhi have any shot at the MVP if he sits out all, like, let's say one half of every back-to-back?
So that'd be 69 games if he does that. If that's all that.
Yeah, I think it would have to be somewhat close to that. Like, I think the closer you get to 60, it gets really tough just because most of the other guys are going to have played. But if he's the best guy in the league and the Clippers have, the best or second best record in the West, I think some of the playing time arguments will fade away a little bit. But yeah, he can, but it's tough, and I think he understands the possibility that he's sacrificing the like a better shot at the MVP to be healthy, and that's the right decision.
So is there a Ben Simmons injury?
Yeah, he left the game due to a shoulder thing.
Right shoulder soreness. I just scrolled down to it.
Yeah. I was actually listening as I was getting to your place. I was listening on League Pass audio, and I heard but it was, you can't get the full picture audio wise.
So, if you were the Clippers, would you have rested Kawhi tonight or tomorrow? Assuming that it doesn't matter from like a health standpoint which one you pick.
Tomorrow's against Portland, is that right?
Yeah.
I actually probably would have. I think they could beat Portland without him, but that's really the big question. Is do you think is the odds of beating the Jazz with Kawhi or the odds of beating the Blazers without him?
You mean the Bucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe is there a thought that maybe for a potential finals matchup that you just don't want to give the Bucks a look at your team?
Yeah, and there's an argument there. There's also, I mean, the Blazers are in your conference, and while I think the Clippers expect to have a better record than them, there are benefits to knocking those teams down a little bit. So I think in terms of the overall one loss, I probably would have gone with Kawhi here, but it's not that big a difference.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's just like I've always wondered does it make more sense to rest your guy against the good team or the worst team?
I would say generally the worst team. I mean, that's something that the Celtics, it seems like they did really well with Kyrie last year, was they won a lot of the games when Kyrie sat, and I'm sure there were some people who looked at that and said, oh, that's because there wasn't as much of a difference. No, it's because Brad Stevens did a nice job picking games where they could still do well.
Yeah, I think if you're a middling team, you rest your guy against the good team.
Exactly. That's completely right. But most of those really good players aren't on middling teams because they make them non-middling.
The other thing, too, I would say is, and forgive me if you talked about this, I was catching up on Twitter while you were talking, is just with Portland being a conference rival that might be in the mix with them for seeding, that it's more important to beat them. So Trez will take the free throw here. Pat Connaughton has come on for Milwaukee. That appears to be the only substitution as of now. Clippers going into a press look, but they get out of it. Connaughton, Lopez
should have
wide
taken
open.
that shot.
Yeah, I mean they want to just run the ATO, but they got tunnel vision on that. Lopez is wide open. Bledsoe instead a third 3-pointer of the first quarter.
I honestly thought that was an entry pass at first.
Well, let's hope it wasn't. Here's Harrell looking for Shamet in the left corner. Now he screens for Williams. Good denial by Bledsoe. Shamet cut off by Connaughton. Now they go into the post. This was not a good matchup for Harrell the first time he went at it. Lopez stops him again. Out to Green. Cut off by Giannis. Great defense from the Bucks. And they force a travel from Beverly. It was going to be a shot clock violation anyway.
And something small that Shamet did there that I really liked was they used him in kind of a dummy screening action just to see if it would catch Connaughton napping to pull out for a jump shot. And it's just a great way to see if a defense is paying attention.
Connaughton into the post to Lopez. Has the size advantage on Harrell. He's just going to go right at it. Cut from Connaughton comes. Lopez fading to his right over his shoulder. Not there. Beverly, not much here in transition for the Clippers. Bucks are back after the Lopez shot. Crossover by Beverly into Lopez. Ilyasova has come on. He helps out. That leaves Shamet wide open for three, but Clippers missing a few of these open threes.
Yeah, they're 2 for 7 now from long range.
Here's Middleton. Quick three, way off over Beverly. Giannis getting his usual mid-first quarter rest. Here's Lou Williams. Floats it up. Scores. And that's the shot that's going to be there. The mid-ranger going to his left and the floater. Bledsoe's been doing a good job of getting over those screens so far. But Lou Williams going into Brook Lopez is probably not going to work. Rescreen from Lopez. Bledsoe had Lopez. Now he gets it to him. Lopez was knocked out of the play and just flipped up a shot into the bottom of the backboard. Here's Williams. He's got Beverly. Corner three is open. Yes.
And Lopez got caught under the basket. He never really got back into that play, and that opened up the shot for Beverly.
Yeah, what a weird last couple of possessions from the Bucks. Here's Lopez. Swings it. Ilyasova closed down nicely. Into the post. Middleton. And Lou Williams. You see just the complete lack of resistance that Lou Williams has defensively there.
Yeah, I mean, Middleton basically just lightly shoved him out of the way and then just established post position.
Williams draws the foul on Bledsoe. He's upset.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can catch it here. He came down. You can't see from that angle whether he got the ball or not.
Yeah, it's very possible that he did, but you lose all benefit of the doubt if you're coming down like this. And Lou Williams, of all players, is going to try to make it at least look like you got armed. Williams, 1 for 5 from the field. He's missed both of his three-pointers, hit that floater, and then now he's at the free throw line, and he makes the first.
Robin Lopez replacing his brother Brook Lopez.
My mic's dead. Okay.
That's too bad. We missed you narrate that free throw from Lou Williams. But we can't do without that insightful commentary. Clippers with a nice response. Bucks have struggled to score since Giannis went out. Here's Dante DiVincenzo. Finds Lopez into Harrell. Passes off, though. He could have had Ilyasova, but the pass was low. Now Lopez will take the corner three. Not there. Rebound Ilyasova. Bucks should be able to make some hay on the offensive glass if they go for it. Here's DiVincenzo's deep three. That's way off too. Bucks in their worst chucking mode right now. Here's the lob, and Harrell just beasting DiVincenzo. We've seen this a couple of times, though. I think that's probably part of their strategy specifically. Wouldn't surprise me if off these switches, Bucks take a lot of those above the break threes that Harrell has contested it. He can run down and get the size advantage. That's twice now he's been able to get the advantage down low in transition.
And first of all, that's an advantage of Harrell being more just being faster than those guys. But also remember, the Clippers have enough centers that you can encourage those guys to, if it's, let's say, JaMychal Green or somebody else, to use some of their energy because they can just play them fewer minutes. Make them a little bit higher energy minutes and work the angles you have.
Jerome Robinson in for the Clippers now. So both teams we're seeing some 2018 draftees. Robinson and DiVincenzo both had basically lost years. DiVincenzo more so with a foot injury that he was only really cleared at the start of camp. He got more time with Wes Matthews leaving early due to an ankle sprain, but it was obviously minor since he started tonight. Robinson trying to pressure up on Hill. They go to a 1-2-2 zone press. Lopez in the middle of the floor. This is going to leave Connaughton wide open on the left wing, and another miss for the Bucks. They're gone cold from three. Harrell at Connaughton. Oh, and Connaughton, I don't know what he was trying to do there. He stuck his foot out after he got Euro step, but that was extremely poor transition defense. Bucks bigs did not get back.
And that's been by far the best offense so far for the Clippers.
DiVincenzo going at Williams, finding Lopez down low for the easy lay-in as he was able to beat Mo Harkless.
And I really like it when a driver is still has eyes for passing, even when he kind of goes up. And that was a nice little decision by Connaughton to get it to Robin Lopez.
Harkless trying to post up on DiVincenzo. Help coming from the backside. They get it to him. Right into Lopez. 4 Bucks in the paint. Green wide open corner 3. Nice offense by the Clippers. That's going to be there. You just, against this Bucks team with the size they have, break the paint, but look to kick out. That's their best offense tonight.
And the Clippers couldn't hit a shot early. Now they're 4 of 9 from 3.
DiVincenzo going at Williams. Charge. That's got to be, right?
Yeah.
And that's not good enough from DiVincenzo. I mean, he goes just right into his chest there. He didn't even make a move.
Yeah, and remember, it's about being in guarding position, not necessarily standing still and taking it. So
yeah, I mean, generally, if you take the contact square in the middle of your chest, which he did there, and there was also a little push off with the left arm by DiVincenzo, and especially when you just don't even make a move like that and you just go right into the guy, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. Here's the floater. That's off. Who is that, number 19?
I think that's Rodney Mcgruder.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen him actually play yet for the Clippers this year. Lopez at Harrell. Hook. Yes. The Lopez brothers have such different post-up styles. Lopez loves that hook that originates right around his waist. They go under on Robinson. His 3. Yes. That's the one thing that Jerome Robinson was supposed to be able to do out of Boston College. He brings the Clips within 1. Here's Ilyasova over Green. I don't know why Green just let him shoot that, but again, Bucks just missing shots right now.
Eric Bledsoe is the only Buck to make a 3 in this game.
Here's the floater from Harrell off the transition drag screen from Mcgruder. Good look. And also good to see the Clippers just finding the gaps in this Bucks defense, not trying to go all the way to the rim. They had limited success with that early. Here's Hill, his 3-pointer. Yeah, that's good. George Hill, probably the best shooter out there right now for the Bucks. They just went under on him and he banged it. Hill going under on Robinson, long 2-pointer. That's got to be a 3 there, Danny. That's not a good shot.
Absolutely. And I mean, he had enough space to make that a 3. It just didn't.
And it's going to be a foul. They bailed out DiVincenzo on what
I want to bring up something with Hill's last shot. He did something I really like. So he was coming off, but had enough space to basically hop into a pull-up 3. And so you basically get the shooting mechanics of a catch-and-shoot 3, but you didn't get into it in the same way. And it seems like, at least to me, that guys are much more confident with that base when you can get basically a catch-and-shoot pull-up.
Kyle Korver has come on for the first time. He'll join Giannis, who has returned. Hill pick and roll with Giannis. They just switch this. Ilyasova is wide open. Zubac has come on. Another wide open miss from Ilyasova. Here's the push from Harkless. Oh, beautiful pass. And Ilyasova with no choice but to follow. The Bucks bigs, again, just have not been getting back defensively. And the Clippers centers, that's the third time now a Clippers center has gotten a look in transition.
And it's a nice way to counter one of the key elements of Milwaukee's offense is that if their centers are all that way back, you can often beat them down the floor. I mean, because your guys are just in the right place. And that was a beautiful pass by Mo Harkless. Do you remember the terms of Zubac's contract? I remember it was richer than I thought it was. Is it $424?
Yeah, it might have been $428.
Yeah,
I can tell you in a second.
And Zubac, one of a couple different Clippers that they benefited from having a low cap hold in bird rights. They were able to use him after their cap space.
2 for 1 here for Giannis. Stopped twice by Zubac. Ilyasova with the step back 3. Not a good shot there, but DiVincenzo takes it away. Here's Giannis, and he's collared by Jerome Robinson. Be interesting to see whether they take a look at this one. No, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It was just Jermichael Green with a hold on his arm, so they won't look at this.
Yeah, especially as he had a hand close enough to the ball. I don't think they'll look at it.
Yeah, he just grabs his arm here. This is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer your question on Zubac, he is, right about 4 years, $28 million.
Okay.
Exactly. Oh, no, 4 years, $28.5 million.
Good for Zubac.
Yeah, and Zubac, I think he's an evolving rim protector. When he's there in position, he can be a problem. Kind of a similar game to Brook and Robin Lopez in some respects. I think he's a little bit more mobile as a screen setter and dive man in pick and roll. He's pretty good there, but doesn't have the outside shot, obviously, of Brook Lopez. But he is just that kind of a mountain down under the rim.
Question from we're good. We're back. Okay. Oh, it is free throws. We can do it. Basically, the short version is the loss of Brogdon overstated. Like that, basically that some combination of all their players can replace him. I think in the regular season that's pretty close to true because Brogdon missed time anyway, and they have a lot of different players. The Bucks are also just crazy good. But when you get into the playoffs, the patchwork quilt concept doesn't work nearly as well. You have to have certain players on the floor and their higher leverage minutes against vastly superior competition to the average regular season game, and that's where I think they'll miss him. And the Bucks are defining success by the playoffs, so then I think it'll matter.
Is it crazy to think that losing Brogdon has been largely overstated? Well, I mean, Brogdon has been awesome for the Pacers. And maybe the Bucks weren't going to put the ball in his hands and pick and roll as much, but I mean they sure could use that ability. And maybe Brogdon won't keep playing this way all year, as Giannis hits the second free throw. He airballed 2 free throws in a row, by the way, last week against Boston.
Yeah.
Tied at 28. Lou Williams will run the time down here. Let's see what they want to run at the end. Double high screen coming. Now they fake it. Williams going at Ilyasova. Beautiful pass to Zubac, who had the man on his back. Williams manipulating the defense expertly. Forced help from Ilyasova, and Zubac was too big to get around. 3.8 left. Giannis going to push it. He'll pull up over Zubac. Way short.
Way short. And
he's short on all these jumpers.
Right, and the Clippers have been very comfortable conceding jump shots to Giannis, and Giannis is 1 for 6 from the field. I think one of the big takeaways as we're kind of in this first quarter transition is how much the Clippers have done with their centers. Montrezl Harrell, 8 points on 3 of 5 from the field, including those 2 of 3 free throws. And then Zubac already has 4 points in basically just like a minute and a half of action once Harrell left the court. And a lot of it has been through this idea of if you're contesting out above the break, keep on going.
Yeah, Bucks looked great early and then struggled to 4 of 15. Certainly the process of the Bucks offense seems to look a little bit better to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
And the Clippers don't take a ton of threes, but 9 of their 22 shots in the first quarter were threes. Those are going to be there. And one thing, too, to watch is the foul game. Clippers get to the line a ton with Harrell and Lou Williams. Bucks did a great job of not fouling last year. They haven't been as good this year so far.
Yeah, and the Bucks have not gotten to the line so far. Giannis's 2 free throws after the JaMychal Green foul are the only ones they've had in the whole game.
Yeah, and Giannis's shot distribution, 1 out of 6. I think all but one of those have been jump shots.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He might have got blocked on one layup and then got it back.
Oh yeah, the Montrez one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that counts as 2.
Check out the old. Oh wait, they're not ready yet.
We saw a couple of them became putbacks right away. The Bucks have rebounded a full third of their own misses so far, compared to 18% for the Clippers. That's been a part of what's helped keep them in this. That and Eric Bledsoe's 3 for 4 from 3. Bledsoe with 9 points on those threes is the leading scorer in the entire game. Harrell is second with 8.
Yeah, Bucks have hurt the Clippers on the offensive glass, 33% offensive rebounds, but the 4 of 15 3-pointers has been difficult. Bucks on pace for 63 pointers tonight. That seems like a lot.
We got a +1 for this question, so that I think that means I have to answer it. Do I go back to my place after these late night recordings, or does Nate let me sleep on the burrow? I'm sure he would let me if I asked, but I go back to my place. It's the nice thing about being on the West Coast. It's always early enough. It's not like things ever end at midnight or something.
I do give him a ride to the train station a lot.
Yeah,
of times,
it's very nice. Given Eric Bledsoe's playoff issues, do you try to trade him or just pray that he doesn't turn into a pumpkin again? This is a boring answer, but it really depends. I mean, you have to have somebody who can fill that role, and so you can't trade it's a really challenging kind of negotiation because you kind of have to trade Bledsoe for somebody like Bledsoe, and they don't have a ton of just extraneous assets. So what is that fit? Is it?
And Bledsoe is really important to their defense.
Absolutely.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Like his ability to get over screens at the point of attack is key to them laying the bigs way back in the paint.
Yeah, that's why having another player who is confident with the ball in his hands and could defend different positions like Malcolm Brogdon was so useful for them, because then if Bledsoe wasn't feeling it, they had somebody else. And that's the vision for George Hill, but George Hill isn't as good.
By the way, it wouldn't be, if he stayed over, he wouldn't sleep on the burrow. He would sleep on the Helix Sleep mattress in the guest room.
There you go.
Brook Lopez is back. Korver closed down nicely by Zubac. Korver not going to take him off the dribble. Zubac switching over. What a move by Hill into the lane, but he can't finish. Good help came from Harkless. 5-on-4 for the Clippers. Robinson looking to push it as the backup point guard tonight. And here's a pick and pop from JaMychal Green. That's the shot that's going to be available all night against the Bucks. They just do not take their bigs out of the paint against a pick and pop big. Here's Giannis. Pass was off. Lopez was wide open, but the pass was inaccurate. Now Lopez on the drive against Zubac gets into his body for the foul. Brook Lopez can be a surprisingly effective, if glacial, driver.
Yeah, he has really good body control, and he's strong enough that teams can't really get him. You can't get him off of his spot. Now, if you can rip the ball, that's a different conversation. But yeah, he's pretty good at that.
Clippers shot chart from the first quarter, 2 of 5 at the rim. That's about par for the course against Milwaukee. We mentioned the 4 of 9 from 3.
I have the Bucks one. 4 of 6 in the restricted area. I think those 2 misses they rebounded and put back in. 1 of 2 in the floater range. 2 of 6 on mid-rangers. And then the struggles from 3. 4 of 15 overall.
1 of 2 for Lopez. Robinson. He's got Mcgruder on the Iverson cut. Now trying to post up Harkless deep on Korver. That's a play that they love. And Harkless is going to get fouled off the offensive rebound. Doc Rivers, we talked about this in the first Clippers game that we did. Mo Harkless killed him back in the 2016 playoffs on those type of looks when J.J. Redick was guarding him. And now that he has Harkless in his employ, he uses him in the same way. Harkless, I want to say number 15 overall pick. out of St. John's in the 2012 draft was dumped for a top 55 protected second rounder to Portland in the summer of 2015, and then emerged to merit a 4-year, $44 million contract that he's finishing up this year. Here's Korver on the drive. Stop from behind. Goes right to the big, and then Giannis with the putback dunk to tie it at 31. Zubac looking for Mcgruder out of the corner. Good denial by Korver, but then he runs into his own man, Hill, and that left Robinson open for three. He couldn't get it. Here's Giannis pushing it, but nobody running with him. Back to goal against Robinson. Help is going to have to come here. Lopez spaces out. Wide open three. That's off again. Bucks getting what they want, but missing them.
Well, and I want to see if the Clippers can get like any decent shots here, considering the ball handlers they have on the floor.
Here's a drive from Robinson. Nice dish to Zubac.
Great job working to get the help and then passing after the help committed.
Yeah, and there was nobody on the weak side. It was actually Giannis that it was probably his assignment to get down there on Zubac. Giannis going at Zubac. Nice play by Robinson to come in for the strip from behind. Giannis struggling so far. Here's Green getting past Lopez. Steps behind the line to his right. Not there. That's a difficult shot. Then everyone in the Bucks boxed out, but nobody went for the rebound. Oh, Harkless tried to end Giannis and got rejected. Here's Hill. Clips doing a great job of getting back, though, after some initial foibles. Here's Hill as they go under the screen, and he just drains it. I think Green was expecting Robinson to switch out onto Hill, and Lopez did a good job of screening Robinson to leave Hill wide open. Robinson, that time Hill got him with the veer back. Push again by Hill. Spin move on Robinson. Goes right through him for the layup. What a play. George Hill has been fantastic pushing Milwaukee to this lead.
Yeah, it was a really nice spin move to protect the ball. There wasn't a way to reach it out, and he got the finish before Zubac could recover. What area could the Clippers most stand to improve in? There are a couple things. I think for me that a center who can, whatever defensive scheme they want to do, like I would say ideally a switching center would be a great thing. JaMychal Green might be able to fill that role. But, I mean, if the dream would also be, I mean, if they could have a reliable floor spacing guy who could defend centers, that would really open things up too.
Do you have a Helix mattress for the guests? How many did they send you? Well, I purchased them from them, actually, because they're a really good product. They said I bought two and they sent me one, actually, come to think of it. But the one they sent me is actually at my my parents' in-laws, I guess I should say.
Is Blake Griffin due for a steep decline, or can he stick around as an effective player? Griffin's ability to create with the ball in his hands and his improved shooting, I think, gives him more longevity than I would have expected previously. But, I mean, especially considering the kind of hamstring, lower body type of stuff that he's been dealing with, you can reach a certain point where the gifts that he has just aren't as useful. So I think he'll age decently, like be a starter, but how long he has as an all-NBA or like even like a top 25, top 30 player, I think that could be a little bit more limited. And that's part of why, I mean, even as well as he's done, that was another factor behind me being critical of his contract.
Although they traded him for good things eventually. So
yeah,
I felt the same as you, but ultimately we were wrong there. And frankly, I mean, we'll see what kind of production he gives them this year. He certainly was worth that deal last year. So
someone said change to the Dallas-Orlando finish. We're not going to do that, but it is a 100-98 game. Orlando has the lead.
Hey, Orlando broke 100. That's news.
They're shooting 26% from three. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, it must just be a fast game. Well, yep. they're getting the foul line a lot. That's an aberration.
And 22 fast break points. Because the Mavs have 15 turnovers. But we will stay here. Maybe sometime we'll do one of those. We'll do another one of those red zone days, but it's going to need to be need to be the right set of games.
Yeah, maybe if it's like a Wednesday when we were originally going to do a Warriors game or something, and
or a Pelicans game.
Yeah. Hopefully Zion will be back soon. Also, I don't mind the Pelicans. They're actually an interesting watch, even without Zion.
That's true.
Lou Williams has returned. They get it into the post against Korver, looking to attack the weaker matchup. Posting up Korver can actually be okay there. It's if I were Harkless, I would want to face up against Korver. Korver is still strong. He's not like Redick in that he's just, has no physicality under the basket. That's probably the one thing Korver can still do defensively. Korver with the little flip to Hill. Hill pick and roll Lopez. Giannis not being guarded. Steps in. At least he was long that time. But you see, when Giannis is off the ball, you can they mucked up that action because they just didn't guard him. Probably want to put Giannis in setting the screen as the roll man there instead of Lopez, perhaps. Here's the pass back to Green. Good close from Giannis. Forces him off the line. Looks like either a 3 seconds on Zubac. Let's see if we can check what that was. Yeah, I couldn't see the ref who called it. Must have been a walk.
But Giannis's quick feet, I think, are one of his biggest strengths defensively. There, he can be in the paint and still get out and affect the shot enough to make the player hesitate.
Here's Hill. This time they do use Giannis in the screen. Hill way short on a wide open jumper. Williams now guarded by Hill. Crosses over to his left. There's that mid-ranger. Deadly, but he missed that time. Wes Matthews is back. He looks to push it. Giannis guarded by Zubac. Double team comes from Williams. That leaves Hill wide open for 3. Yes. Yeah, I thought Lou was a little bit aggressive there, actually, with the double. I know they want to load to him in transition as he misses another of those fading mid-rangers to his left. Giannis going right through. He's got Matthews. Good close down from Shamet. Matthews looking to attack. Gets it back to Giannis. Not much space for Giannis. Swings it to Lopez. Korver to his right. Yes. Korver loves to shoot it going to his right. And the close down from Green did not reflect that.
And that was the first made 3 by a Bucks non-point guard because it was Bledsoe and Hill that were hitting all of them. Everybody else was missing. But that pushes them to 7-19.
Shamet got a nice screen from Zubac. Beat Korver but couldn't hit. Giannis pushing into the lane at Zubac. Good defense. No, Zubac's going to get called for the foul. He does not agree.
That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch it here. I think it's just the fact that he turned his hip into Giannis where they see the foul call. Yeah, Zubac is moving his chest into him. He's not really stationary. Maybe they're saying they should challenge it, but that challenge would not be upheld. Clippers struggling to score now as the Bucks finally hit a few threes, and they're back out to a nice advantage. Giannis always adventurer at the free throw line for him, but hits the first. Yeah, and also he's got the arms down too. That's the other part of that where they're going to call the foul.
And there is the challenge when somebody who's as big and strong as Giannis runs into you, and then the arms drop because of that, and then you go in. But
yeah,
it's a tough thing to call.
If that happens in the air, they are taught not to call it. I think
Correct.
When he's on the ground, it's a little harder to give him that benefit of the doubt. Couple of free throws from Giannis. Bucks by 11.
Yeah, I believe he's 4 for 4 from the line now.
Chris Middleton is back. He's been extremely quiet. They're trying to deny Lou Will, but he gets it now. Screen comes from Harrell, switching the angle to his left, into the lane. Stopped by Lopez. What a rejection. And you see, though, Danny, the reason that happens is Lou had to go a step further towards Lopez than he wanted to because Bledsoe just was able to eat up the space behind him, be on his back, and avoid committing the foul. Here's Harrell. Floats.
Woo!
Wow. That was unexpected.
Wow. It was like a shot put.
I think the Bucks will live with that shot all night, though. Here's Giannis. Resets off the dribble. Yeah, he hit that. He got his rhythm at the foul line, and he drained that one. He certainly got all day there. He could take that rhythm dribble and shoot it. Harrell looking for Green, closed down by Giannis. Bledsoe mucking things up again. Williams into 3 guys, and
Bledsoe
he goes
reached.
through the arm. Yeah, let's see who it was who got him. Yeah, I think it was Giannis, actually.
Oh, yeah, they
with
might
the
have called,
foul.
yeah, they might have called Giannis.
And Antetokounmpo will take a seat. Usually his normal time to go out here. Harrell looking to attack Lopez one-on-one. Into the lane, floats it up over him. Yeah, that's a nice quick release. He's 3 for 3 on those floaters. Ilyasova is back up front with Lopez. Middleton back to goal against Beverly, and Beverly thought he had a clean strip, but did not in the judgment of the referees.
Harrell now up to 12 points, 5 of 7 from the field, and 2 of 3 from the line on that play where he beat everybody down the floor and got fouled.
Well, and how many layups does he have? I think he's only got like one shot right at the basket.
Yeah. And he got fouled on the other layup and missed it.
I will answer that question for you here.
Do the shot charts. Notable that Patrick Patterson has not come back in after his first quarter stint to start the game. Might be getting bogans here. I mean, Jermichael Green is better than he is. Jermichael Green should play more.
Yeah, this just in.
Yeah. And Middleton, so far, you talked about how he hasn't been super active. He's only taken 2 shots from the field. Now these 2 free throws in the entire first 18 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Middleton struggled the first couple of games, but he's up to pretty much his normal numbers from the field now. Recipient of a 5-year, $174 million contract in the offseason that was about $20 million or so shy of the max. Here's the drive by Bledsoe, and then I misspoke. It's about $15 million shy of the max. Nice take by Bledsoe to go right through Shamet. Beverly looking for Williams off the screen. Matthews getting into him, forcing him to his right. Ilyasova on the double team. Great job trapping the box by Ilyasova, and Lou stepped out of bounds. That was a really nice job by Middleton, splitting the difference between the 2 players up top and not giving Lou an obvious place to pass to. But I mean, the Bucks are just such a weird animal to play with, and I think once you get used to it, you can find the openings because they are predictable, but you think you're going to get to the basket, and it's just never there. Here's Lopez's 3 from the right corner. That's not there. I'd be curious to see what he's shooting on threes at the break. Ilyasova with a ridiculous flop. That's just get that out of the game. I mean, he's not even close to in front of him. He's at like a 45-degree angle to him. Like, just stay next to him and bother him. Like, why are you going to pick up a blocking foul in that situation? Harrell trying to post up on Lopez. He's got a much better advantage on him. That's a matchup that they can go to. Robin Lopez is oddly just a terrible post defender. Going back to the 13-14 playoffs when he got smoked by Dwight Howard in that Houston series. Bledsoe looking for Lopez in the post. Has the size advantage on Harkless. Pump fake. And man, I mean, he's just so much bigger. What do they get? A travel here? Let's see if he moves the pivot foot. That looked pretty good. That looked pretty good to me. He had his right foot down. I don't know where they saw that. Unless I had it wrong on what they called. Harkless going at Ilyasova, tries to draw the charge, and that time they give it to him. Boring.
I mean,
that one he's pretty darn stationary that time.
They should fix the rule, but the rule as it's called, that was the correct decision.
Yeah. It's just like, I hate when he's out there because half the plays are just, let's look at and see what the referee decided Ersan did this time. Here's Bledsoe feeling it. Oh, man, Eric Bledsoe, 4 of 5 from downtown. Bucks by 13. Now it's Connaughton's turn on Lou Williams. He gets into the lane. Again, 3 guys around Lou Williams. He's just not recognizing that he needs to kick the ball out. Lou loves to throw it to the roll man, but he's not as good as finding shooters. Bledsoe off the handoff. Here help comes from Williams. Tried to get the backdoor to Connaughton. Goes right to Lopez for the lane.
Well, and that was a circumstance where I think Connaughton's cut. It was kind of a nice thought, but it was a bad time because he was wide open for a corner 3. They could just given him the ball there.
Yeah. But it all worked out for the Bucks, who now lead by 15. Top side on Lou Williams. Bledsoe denying him. Instead, it's Beverly going into Middleton. Stopped nicely. Here's the 3 from Harkless. That's off. Bucks looking to build the advantage. Doing this with Giannis off the floor. Step up screen from Lopez. Bledsoe feeling it. That's off. But Ilyasova beasting on the offensive glass, and he's going to get the foul call. Beverly wondering, hey, he threw me out of the way. Why didn't I get it? But it actually was not Beverly. In fact, it was, or it wasn't Ilyasova who threw Beverly. It was actually his own man, and he flopped on his own man, hitting him.
That's fantastic. The Clippers have only scored 11 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, and they're not getting great shots.
No, and it started when Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly were off the floor, and Jerome Robinson, that group, except for that beautiful pass, that interior pass to Zubac, they didn't really do much. And then when Lou Williams came back on the floor, they couldn't get the same verve that they had for parts of the first quarter.
See if I can give us the second quarter shot chart here for the Clippers. Yeah, we got that live now. Hey, NBA.com.
Wow.
They haven't made a jump shot in the whole quarter. That
doesn't help.
Yeah. Yeah, they're actually 5 out of 9 in the paint.
Thank you, Montrezl Harrell.
Lopez backing way off of him. They try to get it to Williams. Again, he's forced towards the baseline. And then another stop. Just the over-helping from the Bucks really bothering the Clippers. Williams gets the 3, though. Lucky bounce for the Clippers as Middleton got a deflection initially. And they're going to take their automatic timeout. Presumably Giannis will return after this.
58-44. Leading score right now is actually a tie between Eric Bledsoe, who's doing it from beyond the arc, 4 of 6, and Montrezl Harrell, who's doing it distinctly inside the arc, 6 of 8 from the field. But both guys incredibly efficient. It's a great time for your questions.
And a great time for me to get a little more team.
According to Matthew Winger, Aaron Gordon had back-to-back legitimate charges in the Orlando-Dallas game. Great thing we didn't switch to it. Oh, and Dallas won. 107-106. I think I picked both teams over, so I think that doesn't help me in terms of that. Which contract concerns you more, Middleton or Bledsoe? Assuming Giannis stays, Bledsoe, because I think Middleton just fits in so well with what this team is. And Bledsoe, like, there are times when he's a different kind of awful when he's awful. So I think that's where I would lean with it. But Middleton is making significantly more money. So there is some downside risk and some, post-prime in his contract, but I would say Middleton's contract is better than Bled's. Who will lose their minutes when Paul George returns? That's a really good question. Let me pull it up and take a good look. I mean, the easy ones are guys like Jerome Robinson, and Mcgruder will probably get less too. Unfortunately, Harkless probably will as well. And then the Patterson, JaMychal Green minutes overall will reduce, whether that is Patterson, JaMychal Green, or both remains to be seen. But yeah, there's a lot of just it I would say it's trimming fat. Like, I mean, the Clippers have a deep team, and they've survived this better than most would. To have your second best player out this long to start a season, especially when your best player has some load management stuff. But yeah, I think it'll be coming from a lot of different guys as opposed to a single source. Is it malpractice to think that you'll have high quality buyout guys signing with you later in the season? For most teams, I think they have a pretty good idea of where they stand in the buyout hierarchy. They might even have a little bit of tampering insight of who could specifically be available. But a good team in a major market that is a championship, like a championship contender, I think they can play that a little bit, have the expectation. And, I actually think that some teams, the Warriors potentially in that group, they haven't been as aggressive enough at understanding that those players just are going to hit the market. This year is a little bit different. I haven't done buyout candidates yet, but the free agent class is so weak. Generally, that means that the expiring contract group isn't great. And I mean, almost all of the Sour 16s, one of the remarkable things about them is most of them aren't even rotation players. So it's not like any of those guys hitting the market really makes a big difference.
All right, we're back here. Bledsoe, we're not getting Giannis back in the game. Is he in foul trouble and I just missed it? Here's the fadeaway over Lou Williams by Chris Middleton. They did not double team, but Middleton couldn't hit it.
Harold just traveled.
Here's Williams. Overhelp again from Ilyasova. Oh, not an overhelp, actually, because they didn't take advantage of it. Patterson is just sitting around in the dunker spot, but
Montrezl Harrell float game.
Yeah, second best floater in the league behind Trae Young. Middleton looking to go at Robinson. No shortage of juicy matchups for him right now. Bledsoe feeling it. Not there that time. It's down to 4-7 now. Here's Robinson running the floor, going at Middleton. Connaughton comes over with excellent help defense. Middleton looking to attack. He's got Harrell. Pulls up in his grill. Nice box out by Ilyasova. Again, he moved Lou Williams, but what are we going to call here?
They called the move. They called the push-off.
Oh, yeah, he got him with the arm. I thought he boxed him out, but he really just shoved him off. And Lou, he'll accentuate any contact.
He is very adept at that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Giannis. He only has 2 fouls, and he's played a total of 12 minutes so far.
I mean, they might even just be saying, hey, we're up. Let's not get him his third before. But now he's back in.
And so is
nice denial by George Hill. Now they get Lou to his right. He'll float it up over Lopez and score. I mean, hey, if they hit every floater, they might win this game. Giannis guarded again by Patterson. They try to screen away. Good denial from Beverly. Now Giannis trying to use the size advantage on the Chicago point guard. Back to goal. Help comes from Harrell, and they're going to get a foul call. I guess Beverly grabbed his arm.
And so we'll get to see if Giannis' free throw form still looks pretty good. Somebody noted in the comments, and I've seen this too, that it seems like there's a little bit more arc on his free throws the last few games. And, I mean, he's been doing better, so maybe it helps. I enjoy Patrick Beverly being on the free throw line. I feel like he's probably just like talking shit the entire time. And I mean, a good box out kind of. I feel like he can do a nice job of executing what you need that third guy to do on the glass.
Yeah, Giannis looking pretty locked in from the foul line here. 2 more swishes, putting the Bucks back up 12. The league got as high as 15 at one point. They go under on Beverly. Now they screen. Patterson not really being guarded by Giannis. Lou Williams going at Giannis. Tries to draw contact. Into Harrell. Got it to him somehow. Oh, rejected. Giannis. I mean, that's a great second effort. We're going to stay here, though, as Beverly was able to knock it off of Middleton. But Giannis makes the play on Lou Williams, and then he got right back into it as Harrell went for the floater. I mean, Giannis, when Harrell decides to shoot that, he's behind the backboard. And he gets there and blocks
I honestly think his head might have been on the backboard when he blocked it. That was incredible.
Williams, 5 on the clock, to his left. Goes for the jumper. Yeah, that's real good. George Hill, you see a little bit of a difference there. Hill does a nice job, but he's not Eric Bledsoe guarding Lou Williams. Here's Lopez feeling it. Shouldn't be. Lopez 0 of 3 from downtown. Robin Lopez, that is. Here's Lou Williams. Oh, he just got rejected. Gets it back, though. Still plenty of time. They swing it. Patterson, what a closeout by Giannis. Here's the drive by Patterson for the dunk.
The best Patrick Patterson dunk since, 2014.
Yeah, Robin Lopez was denying Lou Williams out on the perimeter and never got back into the play. And Patrick Patterson dunks it on George Hill. Korver trying to get the post up. Double team comes. They missed. Giannis wide open for a dunk. Now Lopez trying to post up again. They get it to him, and he's going to get wrapped up by Lou Williams. And it doesn't matter whether it's on the floor or not because he's going to shoot free throws in the bonus. Yeah, great footwork by Patterson, and he just yokes it on George Hill. Patterson does look a little more spry this year.
Yeah, he does.
Lopez missing the first free throw. Brook coming in for his brother. Have we had any Lopez and Lopez moments? I think the only one that we've had was when they put both of them in together and Robin Lopez screwed up the box out. I forget what the end of what game that was. But he's tried to face guard somebody and just fouled him on a free throw rebound that lost him the game, as I remember. I can't remember who they were playing. My memory is going to shit. It hasn't been that long of a season. Here's Williams. Another beautiful floater. Lou and Trez getting the Clips back into it with these floaters. Here's Hill. Steps back. Gets the 2-for-1 with a three-pointer. Although the Lou for one could be coming here. He's got time. They better get out on him. Yeah,
yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, they're already letting him advance the ball like this. This is going up. This is terrible defense. Oh, my God. I mean, I know your scheme is to lay back, but grow a brain, for God's sake. You know exactly what's coming. Here's Hill feeling it. He gets the 2-for-1.
Did we just get 3 2-for-1s?
At a total of 9 points scored. Oh, that's amazing. I mean, you have to know defensively. We say this every cast to know that it's a 2-for-1 coming. Now Lou's going to try and run the time down. He's really gotten going with Bledsoe on the bench. They force Lou to his right into Lopez. Gets him on his back. Oh, that's got to be a foul on Lopez, and it is. Yeah, Lopez there really, I think you got to just stay down and contest Lou Williams' drive. You have that type of length where you don't need to jump before he does.
Somebody noted that the Lopez foul was against the Heat.
That's right. Yeah, the game that they lost at home. I've been watching a lot of basketball in the last 2 weeks. Brook Lopez is back in for his brother. Giannis is in. And nothing is happening on the screen to talk about.
No. Giannis and Lopez back in. We'll see what they run here. In 10.8 seconds, they should be able to get a pretty good look.
I'd imagine pick and roll with Giannis and George Hill would be the way to go. Mcgruder is in to guard Hill. Yeah, here's that pick and roll. Gets past Patterson. Hill lost it, though. Lopez out top. Korver, can he get it off? Oh, yeah. What an end to the half. How many points were scored in those last 40 seconds? That was
9
14
5?
points.
Yeah.
14 points.
And considering the Clippers were at 11 points like 8 minutes into that quarter, and now we're at 29. Yeah, that was a pretty exciting little end for them. Floater mania at Staples Center. But yeah, pretty fun little first half there. This is a great time to answer your questions, and Nate will probably get some tea at some point. Quick score update. Utah is up 5. They're up 5, 92-97, 97-92 on the Sixers with 5 minutes to go.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we just do that game during halftime, or should we do the usual halftime spiel?
Yeah, we'll let them decide if you're feeling up to it.
I find it easy to do the play-by-play. It's the breaks where sometimes I feel like we're just like we have too much dead air. I drink a lot of tea because I just need it to keep my throat feeling good as I'm talking this much. I've already recorded 4 hours worth of podcast today before this. This would be 7 hours of talking.
Anyway, the Clippers can trade some of their excess forward to the Blazers. Yeah, I mean that's allowed under the CBA. It's just that Neil O'Shea has not really prioritized that.
And Harkless he cannot be traded back to the Blazers.
Yeah, I believe the reacquisition rules apply even if there's an intermediary team. Now
Well,
he
but
could
there
be
but
cut
there
and signed
wasn't
there.
there wasn't an intermediary team. It all got folded.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Switch to Sixers, Utah. Usual halftime spiel.
As always.
I don't know. We got more we got more exclamation points. I mean, I appreciate your enthusiasm for usual halftime spiel, but I think we are going to change it.
Enthusiasm helps.
All right, I'm guessing 7:58.
Yeah, I was
Nah,
on.
it might be more. I'm going to go 7:63.
Yeah, it was the last game of the day.
Ah! 7:62.
Alas. We'll change the camera at some point. It is now
Maybe no.
Yeah, maybe we won't. It is now 98-92 in favor of the Utah Jazz. The Sixers have the ball. Josh Richardson pulls a three and misses it. Oh, nice job by Embiid. He couldn't get the rebound himself, so he just hit it off the backboard and then reestablished and got fouled. Nice play.
Yeah, 6-point game here. Let's just
We're gonna have to remember to get the camera back when we go back to the other game.
Our intrepid listeners will tell us if we
I'm
screw
sure.
something up.
Uh,
Not that we mind. We appreciate that.
We do.
We are not professional broadcasters.
Leading scorer Josh Richardson, 22 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. For the Jazz is Donovan Mitchell. He was hitting shots as I was walking over to your place earlier. 21 points, 10 of 21 from the field. Jazz are 7 of 17 from 3. Sixers are 8 of 24. And getting to the line a lot more.
Yeah, Jazz bench has gotten beaten up. George Niang is 11 minutes, negative 17. And Tony Bradley has struggled some as well. Joel Embiid, those are his first free throws of the second half after going 9 of 10 in the first. Here's Mitchell going at Richardson, and they're going to give a foul in favor of Mitchell. Richardson did not agree.
Overall in this one, per RT Hoops, the Jazz have a 114 offensive rating. The Sixers 105.6. Both teams below average true shooting, and the Jazz have 14 offensive rebounds, which is a full 1/3 of their misses.
Yeah, I think Philly, I remember seeing on Twitter, it took something like 10 3-pointers in the first quarter, and they've only got 17 for the game. Nobody in particular foul trouble. Embiid with 4, Gobert with 3, and Niang with 4. But that's not going to matter. 6-point Utah advantage is back. Richardson, they're going to look to post up Embiid here. He gives Gobert a little shove in the chest, no call. Here's Harris, middle pick and roll. O'Neal on his back, into the lane. Gobert splits the difference, but he gets it to Embiid for the nice power layup. Philly within 4.
That can be a tough interior pass, but Harris had enough space and got it right to Embiid.
So Korkmaz is guarding Bogdanovich. That's a matchup the Jazz may want to go to, and that is in fact what they're going to do. Conley into Harris, tries to draw the foul with the righty floater, can't. That was not a good shot. 3-on-2 for Philly. Horford. Yes. No, it didn't drop. My bad. Now the Jazz bringing it back. Embiid did not come down, so he should be well rested for this defensive possession. Mitchell forced away from the screen. Gobert creating the space. 3-pointer. Mitchell is short. Sixers will take their use it or lose it timeout with 3:27 remaining here in the fourth, trailing by 4. Philly has gotten back into it in this quarter. They trailed by 11 after the third.
Should the Heat have pulled the trigger on trading Richardson for Butler early last season? Well, one of the big benefits there is they wouldn't have had to deal with the hard cap.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have had to give up a first-round pick to create room under the hard cap.
And yeah, and Butler would have helped some of their offensive woes last year. I mean, I don't think he would have solved everything, but he definitely helped helped in the Sixers in ways that would have been useful for Miami last year, especially with Dragic missing so much time. Would have hurt Justice Winslow's development probably because he did a lot with the ball in his hands. Yeah, I guess given how things worked out, yeah, I think you can make that argument.
If you were the GM of the Sixers, would you trade Simmons? I might have considered it now. They cannot trade him functionally until the off season because he has that extension.
Poison pill.
Which just trust us. We got into it on a Dunked On recently.
Thank you, Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, we did. But yeah, it functionally makes them untradeable, especially with no teams having a ton of cap space.
But yeah, I would think very seriously about it, especially with really the lack of development that he's shown so far this year. But I mean, the Sixers offense should be better here without Simmons, I think, in crunch time. Defense, certainly not so much. Here's Korkmaz, quick release, 3. Embiid with position on Bogdanovic, lost it. Oh, what a save by Gobert off the foot of Embiid, and it'll go back to the Jazz.
That's a huge swing right there. Yeah, just got him right in the shin.
Yeah, and then Gobert did well not to get hit by the ball coming back out of bounds. So Utah looking to make it a 6-point advantage here. I think Brett Brown might have just subbed someone in for Korkmaz. Yeah, and Korkmaz waiting at the table again to come back in for offense. So I'm guessing that's probably Thibault. And oh no, Korkmaz is that's Hul Neto maybe waiting to come in. Korkmaz guarding Bogdanovic, pulls up in his face. Yes. Korkmaz just not a good defensive player. They go to the pick and pop, and Bogdanovic, you say, hey, long twos are bad, but now just simply getting a score when you have this advantage is more valuable late in the game. Gobert closing on Embiid. Embiid goes right into him, and Embiid will shoot free throws. I thought that was a little bit of an aggressive closeout from Gobert that time.
Yeah, I mean, if Embiid takes that shot, he's not just pure money on it, and he's also just. I think you don't give him as much of an advantage as a driver. I don't like Embiid as a driver, but if he has the space to work with, it's okay. Also, I believe that's Gobert's 4th foul. In case that
it is
mattering.
Yeah, it could end up mattering, especially if we hit overtime.
I'll briefly run through the other scores of the day. Detroit beat the Knicks by a lot. Indy beat Washington by a lot. Chicago beat Atlanta by a lot. Toronto beat Sac 124-120. Interesting game. And then Memphis surprisingly blowing out Minnesota 137-121.
Yeah, Memphis is playing at a crazy pace right now. And Ja Morant had a slow start in that game but came on late. They're trying to deny Conley and Mitchell. They get it into Bogdanovic. He's being guarded by Embiid right now. Neto denying Mitchell. They want to get Mitchell the ball off the screen from Ingles. Ingles going at Neto. Euro step. Bogdanovic, three-pointer, is off. Gobert fighting for the rebound, boxed out well by Horford. Here's Neto in his return to Utah. Deep post up. There's the 5th foul. Great job by Embiid that time. He looked tired earlier, but after the stoppage, deep post position, and Gobert has picked up 3 here since we started watching, all of them on Joel Embiid. So he's going to need to be careful. And Embiid, we said he hadn't shot any free throws. Well, now he's taken 6 since we returned to this game, or since we started watching, I should say.
And don't worry, not that anybody would be, the marquee game that we're doing is still at halftime.
Yeah, and we'll just finish this up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Embiid cuts it to a 2-point advantage. Utah, so good analytically with their shot distribution last year, they have taken 43 twos outside the restricted area tonight against this really good Philly defense. There's a nice step out by Tobias Harris. Mitchell going through. Embiid with the foul.
Yeah, Embiid just struck his arm all the way across Mitchell's body. You're going to get called for that every single time. Unless you get all ball first swipe. How aggressively would you go after trying to get Gobert his 6th here?
Well, I mean, Joel Embiid is their biggest offensive weapon.
And I think you don't do it by just like a back to the basket post up. It's engage Gobert, at either at the free throw line or a little bit above that and see if you can catch him.
Yeah, there's Embiid's 5th foul. So both star centers with 5. What I like here is the pick and roll, throw it to the wing, and then get Embiid moving downhill into that post up, 2 feet in the paint, see if you can get good position on Gobert. Oh, Mitchell with a big miss from the foul line. Let's see what they've got here. Horford looking to dump it to Embiid at the elbow. Trying to duck in is Harris. Oh, and Joe Ingles just got beat that time. He was trying to topside him. He thought that they're going to bring Harris off the screen to the top, and he just gave up inside position. Harris goes right down in there, and Tobias Harris is going to shoot some free throws now. Harris not known for getting to the foul line, but he's 7 of 8 in this game. Yeah, it just feels like the Sixers are playing better than the Jazz right now.
When they've outscored them, I think it's 28-19 so far in the quarter, and
another
this
big
free
miss.
throw.
So Mitchell has got the ball. They are not even trying to go to Mike Conley right now. And interesting that they've got Josh Richardson on Conley and Neto, former teammate, on Mitchell. Here's a pick and pop 3 from Bogdanović. Too easy. They miscommunicate there. Harris tried to step out, and Bogdanović just wide open. Huge shot, 5-point advantage for the Jazz. Neto trying to cut. Embiid looking to put Gobert in the mix. Now Richardson rolling Embiid. Jumper, steps back. Not there.
That was great defense by Rudy Gobert, not really conceding anything and forcing Embiid to take that little step back.
And that's why you don't close out on Embiid, because he doesn't want to take that spot up. That's there. He's wide open. He's a good shooter. He should have just taken that initial one. He wants to dribble into something harder a lot of times. Now they're going to try and go at Embiid. Mitchell is wide open. They go under. That could have ended it. Gobert didn't want to pick up his 6th. Philly with life here still. They got to score on both of these possessions coming up. Post up Embiid. Back screen on the weak side. And that's going to be number 6 on Rudy Gobert. Embiid with the turn in face. Let's see if I agree with this call. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I think Gobert...
They could have just called nothing there.
I mean, Gobert maybe hand-checked him. Let's see if we can catch it. Oh, yeah. Clear foul. Clear foul.
He just dropped it.
Absolutely. Like, once he faces up, you can't do that.
And...
So he put 4 fouls on Rudy Gobert in
like 5 minutes.
3-minute period. I mean, that's just insane. And now I want to see where Quinn Snyder is going to go. Ed Davis is out. Is he going to go with Tony Bradley here? Do you just go small and double team? No, it is going to be Tony Bradley. He is, I don't predict it's going to go well, but as long as Utah can get one more bucket, they should be okay here. And Philly has not defended well on these Mitchell pick and rolls. Oh, another missed free throw. Killer. So you probably play defense here, but you should really be trapping at this point, I would say. They get the switch now. They changed up the pick and roll defense. They're just going to switch it. Mitchell going a little early. He's got Ingles. Weak side. Embiid did not get out there. Ingles was going to his left. Now the Philly is in transition, but nobody running with Neto. They got to go fast here. Richardson to the baseline. Nothing there. Loses it. Here's Ingles in transition, and Utah is going to take this one. They get it back to Bogdanović, swinging around Conley, and Philly looks like they've pretty much given up at this point. Just jogging around. They finally foul with 6 seconds left. That was, I mean, the game was over, but they probably could have tried a little harder there to commit a foul.
And remember how important that Rudy Gobert throw off of Joel Embiid's shin is, because the Jazz got a Bogdanović mid-ranger off of that. And if this is, if you think about how the rest of this could have played out without that extra possession.
Yeah, and that was just great defense. Wow, another miss. A lot of missed free throws down the end here, but they pretty much evened out.
And it seems to me like teams have gotten better at defending that gnashing along the baseline of just like taking away the passing angles and realizing the guy doesn't want to shoot.
Yeah. Well, and the guys who do it the best are the guys who keep their dribble there. The guys who just jump in the air because they're about to go out of bounds like Richardson did there. Another missed free throw. Philly's going to take a quick timeout here. They had 2 left. So they're not totally dead yet. What they got to do here is throw something right at the basket so you can score with very little time coming off the clock because no time elapses until it first gets touched. If they go for a three here, probably going to be hard pressed to have enough time to score and then foul and then advance the ball and score again. Maybe there's enough time for that, but you'd have to shoot the three right away. I think you just go for the two and then hope for a missed free throw. Thanks, Donovan Mitchell. We wanted to switch back to the other game, and now we can't.
Well, thank you, Casey. Casey says that it's entertaining to listen to us talk about a live game, even if it's not on our TV. Oh, we haven't mentioned this at all. Patreon.com/Duncan LaRue. I mean, it is on the screen all the time. A great way of supporting this endeavor. We are not ad-supported at the moment. Subscriber-only podcasts, including a mailbag podcast every month, and also salary cap sheets, early release podcasts, which might become relevant in the next couple days for those who want to get things a little bit early. And whatever else we can think of. It's a really fun community, and we really do appreciate it.
All right, we're back here. Sixers looking to inbound. Let's see what Brett Brown has got lined up here. They're looking for Korkmaz in the corner. That's not there. Now Harris comes out the screen. Bad pass, though. Back to Richardson. This is not a good play. This is taking way too long. He does score. And his time has already elapsed.
the buzzer beater down 4.
Yeah, I mean, what was that play call to do the handoff? Like, especially because Harris came out wide open. He should have just taken the three himself. They might have had a chance.
And that is an unusual circumstance where you could make an argument that a quick 2 could work just because you can't have time run off the clock. And
yeah, I had a whole 30-second spiel on that when you weren't paying attention.
I was doing something else. But that's
okay. Sometimes we have to look at our computers. That's all right. Yeah, we'll switch it back here to, assuming I can find the remote. Clips have closed within 11 with 10:06 up. Would you mind doing the camera?
Yeah, I got it.
Giannis floats it up from the foul line. Giannis trying to get it on the floater act. He's not as good at it as Trez and Lou are. Shamet, who's been quiet, into the lane, stopped, but it goes right to Montrezl Harrell, and the Clippers with a little push here now. Within 9. Bledsoe going at Shamet. You think thinks he has the physical advantage on Shamet. Giannis. Oh, Euro step right past Patterson, and I guess they're going to get a reach-in foul on Patrick Patterson.
So we'll see. I mean, it looks like Giannis looked confident, more confident, better arc on his first free throws. He was 6 for 6 in the first half. Still dribbles it a ton before every single free throw. Oh, that had a little bit too much arc on it.
Oh, man. God. Strong winds
Ugh.
in Southern California. Yeah, it was weird. Like, he just decided like he was going to hold it way higher above his head. And then, I mean, that's just awful. He didn't used to be a bad shooter. Like, Jason Kidd totally ruined him, I think. And then, of course, perfect. So, I mean, he looked like he was finding the range in the first half. 10-point advantage. They go under on Beverly, now trying to run the pick and roll. They go under again. This is all dummy action. Bucks know it. Nice topside there by Bledsoe. And Montrezl, again! They're going to try to say it's a foul out on the floor. This floater from Harrell is ridiculous. Harrell will shoot the free throw, and I wondered whether he could be effective against this Bucks length, and his ability to hit that floater has really been quite a revelation. Missed the free throw, though. Giannis brings it up, guarded by Patterson. He's got a corner three for Middleton. That was not good defense at all from the Clippers. They didn't know who was guarding Chris Middleton, but he missed the wide open corner three. Williams into the lane, goes to Harrell. Harrell fouled by Lopez.
And again, that was Lopez shading to Lou Williams to make sure that he couldn't get the layup, and that gave the seam to Harrell for his own layup.
And they tried to do the open side pick and roll there, and were able to just get enough of an angle. I think if I'm the Bucks, I'm really going to try and over-rotate to Harrell at this point and force Lou Williams to make a pass to a shooter. He doesn't seem nearly as good at that. Seven-point game as the Bucks have struggled to score here early in the half.
And it's really, I mean, the only players that have hit threes for them: Bledsoe 4 for 7, George Hill 5 for 5.
There's the 1-2-2 trap again. Middleton has the size advantage. Instead, they want to go to Antetokounmpo, who also has the size advantage. Bledsoe deep three, not there. He's cooled off. They throw it ahead. Shamet. Now Harrell going at Middleton. Help has got to come here. It doesn't, but he misses. Outlet to Giannis. This could be big. That was about the most obvious Euro foul that you're gonna see. Lou Williams decided he was gonna take that about 5 seconds before it happened.
And interestingly, both teams an identical 13 of 16 from the free throw line right now. I would have expected the Bucks to have that advantage. Giannis pulls a three and doesn't get it. They're calling also the push off on Chris Middleton on Patrick Beverley there. Middleton, not particularly in foul trouble at the moment. I'm guessing that was his third, and my box score just needs to update.
I gotta say that the best teams this year, I don't really enjoy watching most of them that much. Maybe the Clippers will be better once George and Kawhi are both healthy. But a lot of floppers, a lot of fouls. Some defensive teams as Beverly hits the open three. Nice screen by Shamet, and Wes Matthews didn't communicate with Chris Middleton on that. And so now we're a 3-point game.
It's an 11-3 third start to the third quarter for the Clippers. Now, great time to answer and ask some questions.
Yeah, we might actually get a close game on the cast here for the first time.
It's exciting. Worst shot selection, Bledsoe or Westbrook? Westbrook. I mean, Bledsoe has some brain fart moments on offense and defense, but Westbrook's shot selection is worse. And it's been improved on the record, something we talked about in the 15 and 60. But still, Westbrook. That's an interesting one from Glenn Simons. Still blaming Jason Kidd. And one, yes. Two, it's the point there is more that Giannis, like it seems like his shooting stroke is different than it was when he was a rookie, and like his willingness and his approach and all that. And Jason Kidd was the coach then.
Well, and he specifically told him he wasn't allowed to shoot threes, and he shot 33% on threes. Like, if you go back and watch his film, he kind of shot it off his shoulder, but he didn't look like a guy who was going to be like a non-shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of messed with his form. I don't know who did that. It's different every year. Could you see the Heat finishing ahead of Milwaukee or Philly? Not without very significant injuries.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have the same dynamic play on both ends of the floor. I mean, the Bucks were top 5 on offense and defense. Were they top 2 on offense and defense last year? Like, that's a very
top 3, I think, at a minimum. But also Miami's way over their heads right now.
Yeah. And there's some serious shooting luck in their profile.
Yeah, and it started to. I mean, obviously, it's not going to go the opposite of where it's been, but it certainly their overall numbers went right closer to average in that Denver game yesterday.
Two interesting questions we could do. What is the realistic worst record that the Warriors can do? I think they can have on the short list of the worst records in the league for right now, but you assume that Curry is going to come back, and at that point, so I'm gonna say like realistic worst case, unless Curry like misses significantly more time after this, is probably something like sixth worst.
Yeah, after this being like, I mean,
After
I don't
February.
think he plays more than 25 games. That would be a surprise.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Um,
So, but the other question somebody asked was, what is the best NBA cast moment so far?
I mean, my personal favorite is probably the Plumlee post up.
I think though it's the Damian Lillard shot. I mean, the wave goodbye.
I mean, when I turned on the last 5 minutes of Game 3 of Denver and Portland, and then ended up doing it for like 2 hours by myself because it went into quadruple
I had already gone home.
I was like, yeah, I'll just turn this on, this will, and I'm just like still there 3 hours later.
My friends and I ordered a pizza in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, you guys aren't like some friends who were just over it. I'm like, you're not going to be here when the pizza comes. They were there when the pizza came.
Back to the 1-2-2, and Bledsoe tried to draw on the foul on Shamet, and you can tell Bledsoe loves that matchup against Shamet. He thinks that he can go right through him physically, and he's been right so far. Bledsoe keeping Lou off the left hand, forced baseline. 3 guys come and trap him, and they get the steal. Bledsoe, now they can push it. Bledsoe on the left wing. Giannis, he's got Middleton in the corner. The pass was off, though. Not a good pass. If that pass is in his shooting pocket, he gets it off. Instead, it's blocked. Harrell sizes up Lopez. Help coming from Middleton. He goes to the right hand. Into Lopez. What a drive. Montrezl Harrell is a wonderful offensive player. Ooh, that's a backcourt violation. They called it. They never call that, it seems like, and there it is.
Got to do those little quick feet once you get across the line.
I mean, I don't know what they're complaining about. This is a clear backcourt violation.
And Giannis there, I mean, it's hard to cover the amount of ground. I would force Harrell to make that pass to Patrick Patterson in the corner. I mean, that's a tough read for a center to make on a drive.
I mean, Lopez had been stopping him early, and then he's gotten a couple of really tough finishes up.
Fair enough. I still think you force a center to make that pass. Yeah, so Harrell's overall line, 24 points, 10 of 14 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and only 1 turnover, plus 8 in 23 minutes in a game his team trails in by 3.
Yeah, the other great one was the Donovan Mitchell tip dunk in the 18 playoffs against Houston.
Sabonis dunking on Embiid was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, I think I would have to say, I mean, the Plumlee post up was just, I'll never have a call as good as that. I think as long as I live. Back to a 1-point game. Bledsoe into the lane, gets past Shamet, scores on him again. Man, he is just abusing that matchup, and the Clippers are not a good help defense team at the rim. Williams at Lopez. Lopez stopped him that time. They get the outlet after pressure from Patterson. Oh, it goes awry. Now it's Beverly. He's got Williams. His corner 3. Good.
Tie game.
Oh, man, that was could have been a fast break for the Bucks, but they couldn't control it, and goes right back to Lou Williams for the corner 3. Bledsoe gets it to Matthews. Bucks don't quite know what they're running here. They finally get into it. Giannis at the free throw line. Jab step, jumper over Patterson is off. That's the one I think he needs to be able to hit even more than the three-pointer. Williams to his left, shoves off, no call. Matthews is irate, and I'm surprised he didn't get teed up. He went after the official. Thought better of it right away. Here's Bledsoe going at Shamet again. Here's Giannis.
What a pass.
Wow. And, I mean, this Shamet-Bledsoe matchup is a massive problem for the Clippers. Shamet does a nice job on these shooter types, but Bledsoe is just dominating him physically right now. Here's Matthews contesting the Williams jumper, and that's off. Giannis looking to push it again. He's got Harrell back. Sets up the three-pointer in the corner. No, we're going to get a charge as Harrell drew the charge. Giannis did kind of have nowhere to go on that one. That was an awesome pass. You're right, Danny.
And the Clippers were so cognizant of Bledsoe's abuse of Shamet that they sent 3 guys over to him with Giannis and Brook Lopez out there on the other side, and that was great vision by Bledsoe. Bledsoe, he's such a strange point guard for me because I don't love his creation regularly, but he throws every year he throws 1 or 2 of the single best passes of the season, and I just wonder where it is the rest of the time.
Catch up a little bit on Twitter.
That's actually a good point from Glenn Simonson, that our frequency of the NBA cast during the playoffs might be different this year because the Warriors aren't making it. Probably.
Yeah, hopefully. Bedtime should be a little easier because we're not doing them after Warriors home games, where you have to do all the post-game stuff for an hour and a half and then come home and start recording at midnight.
Well, no, but also we could do more casts.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of my overall sanity and fatigue level.
It's gonna be glorious.
More than about 3 days in a row, I kind of start to really lose it.
But I do love going to playoff games. I'm going to, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to miss
I'll just go to Sacramento.
Yeah.
I think for conference finals, might have to go down to some games, especially if it's the LA series. Which, if you had to bet right now, I think that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Unless they meet each other.
I would pick the field over that. But I think that's the most likely conference.
I think they're probably the 2 best playoff teams right now.
Agreed.
Although things can change. But I don't think Portland or Denver or Houston are looking that awesome. Jazz may come around eventually. But yeah, a lot of these teams, getting back to my earlier thought, a lot of defensive teams, a lot of size, a lot of fouls, a lot of tricksters. There's not... the Bucks to me play by far the best style. I'll just conveniently forget that Ilyasova is on their team, but
yeah, I was actually thinking about during a previous thing about how the subs with the greatest difference in entertainment value. So Ilyasova for Giannis or enjoyment. Ilyasova for Giannis is up there, but I think Plumlee for Jokic is the number 1 off the top of my head of the difference in entertainment value of the player who subs for the first other guy.
Would you consider a trade involving Simmons and Brogdon if you were the Sixers? Aside from the fact that he can't be traded this year,
we'll skip that. If you could do forced trade. I think Brogdon. It's just too close to his best case scenario. I think then you're betting
way older too.
Yeah, you're and in his health stuff. They're genuine
Simmons
concerns.
is kind of an Iron Man.
So I don't think that's enough for me. And also, Simmons is a strange fit. I would do this trade as the Pacers, but Simmons is a strange fit with what they're doing, both the 2 center type stuff and also Victor Oladipo, best with the ball in his hands. So that creates problems.
All right, we're back. Looking to bring Shamet off a screen here. Nice help from Connaughton. Here's the drive from Beverly, and he gets into Connaughton's body. That was excellent recognition by the Clippers that Connaughton had help off of Beverly. Shamet got it right back to him, and then they drew the foul on Connaughton because he couldn't get back in front of Beverly in time.
And the Clippers already being in the bonus with 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the third quarter could end up being important because the Bucks, they sometimes have a propensity for committing non-shooting fouls, and so those become shooting fouls now, even though Lou Williams will probably play a lower proportion of these 5 minutes than the previous 5 minutes.
Yeah, Josh with a good note. Sorry if you said this already. That Atlanta's backup point guard coming in for Trae Young is a huge downgrade in watchability.
Oh, yeah, that's probably number 1.
Because he doesn't
doesn't exist.
You're just 4 on 5. Now Giannis, they go way under on him. He's going to jack the 3 and drain it. Big shot there for Giannis Antetokounmpo to give the Bucks a 3-point cushion.
Yeah, I think he's 2 of 4 from 3 and 7 of 8 at the line.
Williams circling about. Now Beverly gets the screen from Green, crosses up Connaughton into Lopez, floats it up and banks it in. Bit of a lucky bounce there from Beverly, but he's gotten penetration twice now on Connaughton. There's the screen away. The Clips do a great job of denying that. Instead, it's Lopez for 3.
Pat Connaughton skies for the offensive rebound.
Hill can't get it. Lopez almost commits the foul. There's an action to watch, by the way. The Clippers just denying that cut on the screen away action that the Bucks love in semi-transition. They just don't even let him come off the screen. Missed three-pointer. Giannis looking to push it. Clip's going to try and load to him here. Inside-out dribble into the lane, going through Green. Green picks up the foul.
And Giannis has not sat yet in this quarter, right? Is he?
Yeah, I think sometimes they'll change it up in the second half. Watch the left arm of Giannis here. Yeah, he might have been. I think the foul took place before that, but he's definitely one of the more egregious off-arm shove guys.
And we'll see if, his free throw motion has overall been pretty good so far, but he did have that prominent miss.
Yeah, as long as he takes a really long time to think about it, I think he should be fine.
Oh, man.
I do think that just getting the ball and shooting it right away really can help you mentally.
But maybe he needs a little rest.
Because it's all about not thinking about it. So you might as well just do it fast. Yeah, maybe taking a little bit of a break. That's nice.
It would be hilarious to see a team that pushes really hard just be really deliberately slow on free throws. I wouldn't enjoy it as a fan, but
Williams getting to the baseline, and he's going to get the foul on George Hill.
It's a good thing that wasn't on Wes Matthews, because Wes Matthews would have gone insane. But it was the right call.
Yeah, they tried to go under on Williams, and he just accelerated to the left baseline, and he's been drawing that foul call for 15 years now.
And it's worth remembering, partially due to the bench players that are starting, like Lou and Trez, that the Clippers bench got worked in the first half, and we're getting into those minutes here. -11 for Zubac, -9 for Rodney Mcgruder, -5 for Mo Harkless, all in relatively few minutes.
Giannis gets it to Lopez, who's spaced out. He has not had the 3. Connaughton getting penetration. Back out to Giannis. His drive, and he's fouled by Green. JaMychal Green has not been able to defend without fouling here in the third.
Foul trouble. Nobody has 4 yet, but a lot of guys have 3. Giannis, Middleton, Bledsoe, Ilyasova, Patrick Beverly, Landry Shamet, and that's it, unless JaMychal Green. That was his 3rd. So any one of those guys getting one more puts them at the precipice.
So Giannis is 6 out of 27 three-point shooting.
Oh boy, we should do that for the cast. Sadly, you'll be Cavs Wizards on ESPN on Friday.
Can I tune in from Japan? I'll be there by then. If there's any way to do this remotely.
Oh man.
More free throws for Giannis. So he's 6 out of 27 from 3. Massive increase from his start to last year when he was, I think, 5 out of 50.
That sounds about right.
Here's the post up for Harkless against Connaughton. Back out Green. Good close from Giannis. They switch this. Good pressure from DiVincenzo. Harold's going to have to create something. Oh, they backed off of him. That wasn't good, but he misses it anyway. Giannis looking to push. Harold setting up for the charge. Giannis goes into it. If he had shot that, he might have got the foul. Instead, it's Hill with the three-pointer in the corner.
George Hill, 6 of 7 on threes in this game.
And guess what, too? That's a 2-on-4, and since 4 guys go to Giannis in the paint, they still get a wide-open 3 out of it. Robinson eludes Hill, floats. He doesn't have the touch of his teammates. Giannis looking to push it again. 5-point advantage. Screen from Lopez. Switches Harrell onto him.
That was another unnecessary cut by Pat Connaughton.
Here's the 3 from Giannis. Oh, yeah, he's feeling it right now. Giannis, a couple of threes. Does just conveniently forget about that airballed free throw. He's a shooter now. Robinson, as they go under on him. Now they go over this rescreen. Jump shot off the glass. Robinson is off. Giannis looking to push again. Clips load to him. He's got Connaughton in the corner. Going to go at Green here with this small guarded screen. Wants
Give it back to him.
Yep. And they switch
scram.
back. Good job. Giannis picks it up. Lopez was not in the corner ready for the pass. He's backing in on Harrell. Nothing going on this possession at all. DiVincenzo, and they're going to get a travel on him.
Yeah, and he split his feet before he took a dribble. It's the right call. Yeah, and remember, this is when Giannis usually takes a break, and he's really taken over the game during these couple minutes.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying himself. He played very little in the first half, remember. Robinson, again into the lane, throws it away. He's been awful.
Yeah, and
I mean, you might as well just go to Terrence Mann at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Mann better in the preseason. I've been admittedly not a Jerome Robinson believer at all, but the other idea here is maybe don't separate Patrick Beverley and Lou Williams, or maybe separate those guys because they can actually dribble.
Yeah, that's a good point. Lopez stepping up with the screen. Crossover by Hill at Harrell. Oh, Harrell recovered for the block, but they're going to get a goaltend on him. He disagrees. Maybe he wants his coach to challenge him.
I think he went through the basket. Like his hand was through the netting.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch this.
Well, they inbounded it, so they can't challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't see it on the replay. Harrell going to try and go at Lopez. Help coming from Middleton. Now he has to get out of the lane. Harrell blows past Lopez again. I mean, they should send help, especially with this group out here, Danny. Not a ton of other guys that you're worried about. Middleton, hounded by Harkless, now gives it up. Lopez involving Harrell in the screening action. Gets Mcgruder on his back. Tries to draw the foul. Loops a pass to Middleton. Nice defense from Harkless. Late clock now. Middleton's going to have to create. Goes into the lane. Floats it up. And a foul is called. Let's see if we can catch what happened here. Oh, I can't because now I'm behind the action with the other TV. Middleton shaking out that right elbow.
I hope if some enterprising person gets bored enough to track how many different times in a game a player tries to signal that the coach should challenge something, it's I've seen like 5 just in the last couple minutes.
Challenge!
I've put this on myself. I'm so sorry. Ooh, another really short free throw.
Yeah, Middleton looked like I don't know whether it was his wrist or his elbow. I think it's probably his hand, the way he was giving fives after that. But hopefully his shooting won't be affected here. Cat's here.
Buck's here. And still Jerome Robinson trying to run stuff.
Green looking for Robinson, denied by Hill. They go back to the strong side. Harrell against Lopez. They could have just done this at the start of the possession. Help going to come from Hill into the lane. Harrell getting that right-handed drive. He got fouled. He's just going with the straight right-handed drive here. You might want to make him do something else at some point.
Yeah, and
not that he can't, but I mean, you get beat the same way 3-4 times in a row. It might be time to switch up.
And that's really what's keeping the Clippers afloat. They don't really have any other offense during this sequence, and that's exactly why I would force Harrell to make that pass. He might be able to do it sometimes, but the other paths are generating at least something.
Yeah, he's been just fantastic offensively tonight. Giannis finally getting his rest. Chris Middleton lane violated, but it's of no consequence, and they would have never called it anyway. 7-point game, critical end of the third quarter here as we see whether the Clippers will be in contact going into the fourth, and it's going to be a wrap foul on Mo Harkless that'll send Chris Middleton to the line. Not a good start.
Well, and maybe, I mean, he missed one of them badly the last time before. Remember, Chris Middleton hasn't been in rhythm at all in this game, so you run the risk of kind of getting him a little bit more comfortable. Middleton is 2 of 8 from the field and 4 of 5 after that made free throw from the line.
couple more free throws for Middleton. The Jerome Robinson show must go on here. Going right back to the well with Harrell. They try to make the entry pass more difficult. This time they force him left. Ilyasova with good help. Nice double team from him. I mean, that's a triple team, Danny, along the baseline. But when you force him baseline and then you bring the help, the passing angles are much reduced.
Yeah, and you gain the sideline as a defender there. And it is still Clippers ball, but only 10 seconds left on the clock. So it's like 3 passes before it goes to Harrell.
Screen from Robinson. He waves it away. Right hand this time. Same shit again. Just make him do something else, please. When they did, it worked. Hill into Robinson, floats it up, stopped by Harrell that time. Robinson looking to push it. They've got the 2-for-1. Green down the lane. His floater is off. Rebound Middleton, and it should stay with the Bucks here.
Yeah, I think Jermichael Green knocked that out. So 29 seconds. I mean, to me, you just work it down a little bit, and if the Clippers force up a shot, so be it.
Five-second differential. Mcgruder has the matchup on Middleton. Screen coming from Lopez. They involve Green. I actually like the Mcgruder matchup better, but Middleton blows right by, and Robin Lopez walled everyone off inside. Did they never inbound that?
No,
no, he tipped it in. Here's Harrell going to his left this time. Oh, hey, they made him miss it. They made him go left. What a shocker.
So it's 98-89 in favor of the Bucks, and you could make an argument that the only reason it's that close is Montrezl Harrell. Harrell, 30 points, 12 of 18 from the field, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and the other just huge swing that happened in the third quarter, Giannis taking over now at 25, 12, and 6. Only 2 turnovers, and while he's missed, he's 6 of 15 from the field, still an overall pretty efficient night without the lack of turnovers, and 10 of 12 from the free throw line.
3 of 5 from downtown as well. Bucks have gotten up 39 three-point attempts through 3 quarters, so not quite on pace for the 60 that they had after the first, but still quite a few. Clippers have not shot as many threes after that 4 of 9 first quarter. They sit at 8 of 20. Harrell, you mentioned his 30-point performance. Lou Williams at 25. Beverly has been exceedingly efficient with 17 points on only 9 shooting possessions. Clips offense, has only been okay, but it's really been the bench that's gotten killed. Mcgruder is negative 18. Robinson is somehow plus 2.
Well, it was plus 9 in the first half.
Yes.
Some of those mixed minutes. Also, the Bucks have blocked 17% of the Clippers' twos. That's pretty impressive. They had some of those where they got second chance opportunities.
Brook Lopez, 4 block shots.
Yeah, and it was actually they were at 33% before, but Milwaukee 28% offensive rebound rate compared to 19% for the Clippers. That's an important difference when in that stretch when Milwaukee couldn't really get that much reliable offense.
Catch up on Twitter here if you want to take some questions.
Yeah. Noah mentions that the Bucks should try DJ Wilson with a matchup against Harrell. Yeah, I think that's worth a shot. I mean, he could definitely move his feet better and probably slow him down a little bit. Let's see. Waiting for questions. Oh, Kidder Boylan. I mean, Boylan's a better coach. I mean, the greatness of us recording a podcast where we picked Jason. We did the first coach rankings we ever did, and we're talking about Jason Kidd as the worst coach in the NBA at the exact moment that he was fired is still one of my favorites that we've done in our podcasting history. And we were so into it because it was the end of like a 2-hour-long podcast that we didn't realize that it was happening until about 15 minutes later when we finally finished.
Interesting Mike D'Antoni quotes after the game saying that the Rockets aren't quite in shape, but that he tried to save their legs and just let them play themselves into shape. All right, well, looks like we're going to be back here. That was funny. I thought that said NBA 2K 2D. instead of 2K20.
That would be pretty fun. Flatland game.
Clippers celebrating their glorious history with the 50th anniversary. They should really just start the franchise history in like 2014.
It would be hilarious to see them just lean in on that. And
I guess that's a slight to Bob McAdoo with the Buffalo Braves. Here's Harkless going at Middleton. Giannis is back, and the tip in from Zubac. I thought Zubac did some nice things in the first. He hasn't gotten much tick, but with Harrell playing so well. Middleton off the Giannis screen into the lane. His floater over Zubac is off. Ilyasova can't get the rebound, and now the Clips have numbers. Bucks hustling to get back. Williams blows past Korver, and he'll go to the foul line and one. Kyle Korver was not able to stick with him in the slightest.
And there have been a couple different times in this game where it seems like the Bucks had kind of firmed up control. Giannis is back in the game already, and Korver's cutting it potentially with a Lou Williams made free throw back down to 4.
That was pretty slight contact there from Korver.
No one knows how to make the most of slight contact than Lou Williams.
That's a nice play by Korver. That's what you're supposed to do on a free throw. He runs in from the 3-point line to get in front of the shooter, and now he's going to get a 3 on the other end off the Giannis penetration.
Yeah, and Korver now, I believe it's 2 for 2 from 3 for him.
Yeah, I thought that was really an overhelp by Mo Harkless. Harkless setting up Lou Williams wide open. Nice little action there, but he can't get a good tip from Korver to keep it away from JaMychal Green. Bucks looking to build on an 8-point advantage. Korver, they missed him on the screen. Instead, it's Middleton baseline. He's out to Ilyasova. Too late finding Korver. Now back to Ilyasova. His 3 is off. Ilyasova has not had the touch tonight.
No, Ilyasova is 0 for 5 on 3s now.
Hill hounding Williams. Williams patient. Out to JaMychal Green. Contested late. That's off. Korver tips it right to Zubac that time. Green not taking the 3. Instead goes into Ilyasova. Ilyasova falls down. Tried to flop and picks up the foul.
And I think that's his 4th.
Oh, God. Can it be his 5th? Maybe even his 6th.
And I'm happy for JaMychal Green that he's been able to find a place that he's happy with the Clippers. Had an interesting career because, I mean, he was an older rookie with the Grizzlies. Looked pretty good that year, but just kind of those teams got less and less relevant, and then ended up on the Clippers in that bizarre Avery Bradley trade, and really has made it work.
He used to be an absolutely nuclear athlete.
Yeah.
And he suffered a couple of ankle sprains, and he's getting older too, so it isn't quite the same. And his shooting touch came around right after that. Here's Korver off a screen. Lou Williams late contesting it, but Korver missed that, going to his preferred right side. Beverly is back. He finds Green up top. They're looking for Mcgruder out of the corner, and then the rescreen for Williams. And they're going to get an offensive foul on Mcgruder. He shoved Korver. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was actually Bledsoe that he hooked a little bit there.
Made a little bit more sense considering you're not worried about Kyle Korver working through a screen. Yeah, it was a little bit of a grab.
Yeah, he got him with the chicken wing on the left arm. And now there's some kind of a weird turnover that we didn't see.
Thank you, producer. I have no idea.
In fairness, nothing is supposed to really happen in
That's
backcourt
true.
like that. So did he just... Yeah, he just stepped...
What? Did he think it was just like
Dude,
a free play?
That's the best since the Russell
Westbrook.
When he got asked what happened and he just kept saying the word travel over and over again after the game.
What?
What happened on that play, Russ? Travel. Oh, that's a clear foul on DiVincenzo. And Beverly is going to have a chance to put 20 points next to his name with the and one here. So Clippers getting right back into it. I mean, but we're bearing the lead here. What Eric Bledsoe just got the ball out of bounds and just started dribbling.
If this game ends up being close, Oh,
But
man.
the referee handed the ball and he just started
Started
dribbling
dribbling.
up court from out of bounds.
Because that's allowed in other parts of basketball. Oh, man.
Giannis pulling up over Zubac. DiVincenzo came in with evil intentions from the right side, but it bounced away from him. Here's that semi-transition from Lou. Oh, nice deflection from Giannis, and they're going to take the Euro foul in transition. The NBA desperately needs to get rid of it.
And remember that foul, because if the Bucks get into the bonus earlier, like, I'm significantly, this is something I talk about a lot, I'm much less of a fan of Euro fouls in the fourth quarter than I am in the rest of the game because of the way the fourth quarter can ebb and flow.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to get a bucket on that play, though.
Probably. I mean, JaMychal Green was back.
Bledsoe handing off to Lopez. It takes him a while to get into their offense. Lopez getting past Green into the lane. Looked to be fouled by Zubac. No call. Gets it back. Tries to dunk on Zubac and lays it in. And he's got some words for the referee.
I think he got fouled
wanted
on
a couple of calls there. DiVincenzo forcing Beverly to the right. They go under on him. Zubac changes the angle of the screen to get the advantage. But they're back in good order. They'll try it again. Beverly, Zubac, at Lopez, stopped by Lopez. The two centers causing trouble for another. Here's Korver on the floor. Probably should have taken a timeout, but he was lucky to have it knocked out of bounds in favor of the Bucks. Bucks have 4 timeouts left. They got to use 2 of them here. That would have been a total.
Oh, something else with that Patrick Beverly Euro foul. That's now his 4th.
Yeah, Beverly, someone who needs that buffer with fouls when he can get it. Double high screen for Bledsoe. Goes at Green. Baseline. Nice drop off for Lopez. And Lopez is fouled.
See, again, like, Eric Bledsoe, his best passes are that's just a great read. And that's how you can use the air to your advantage. He created space and then made the pass to Brook Lopez. Beautiful work.
Yeah, Lopez displeased with himself that he couldn't finish the end one. A little tap on the elbow, but it was a foul.
And Brook is 4 of 12 from the field in this game. And obviously the misses on foul shots don't count. I mean, the misses going into foul shots.
Lopez hitting the first. So for the Bucks now, DiVincenzo and Bledsoe in the backcourt. Korver, Giannis, and Lopez round out the lineup on the floor.
And it feels like George Hill has to close this game, but that might be a little too much shooting for the Bucks.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Hill and Bledsoe together tonight, but presumably that will be the unit. Wes Matthews not playing a ton tonight.
Yeah, he's just at 18 minutes.
Yeah, he is coming off that ankle sprain. Bledsoe hounding Williams. He gets into the lane. Lopez rotates over, forces another miss. Lopez definitely in the head of Lou Williams. Here's Giannis. Back to Bledsoe. Nice pass to the corner. Korver, his 3 is off. That could have put him up 11. Williams, again, goes at DiVincenzo, gets him in the air.
Don't jump on Lou Williams. Just don't do it.
No, Danny, he would have blocked that shot, though.
It's a rite of passage. He'll be doing it until we all die. But come on now.
Pretty minimal contact, but if he's moving forward at all, you're going to get that call. I mean, I don't care for that rule, but basically once the guy jumps forward, you can crash into him in an unnatural motion and get the call. That is what the rule is. I don't think that should be the rule, but it is. Back to 6 now. That Korver corner 3 miss might be one that we look back on if this stays close. Here's the screen. They get Beverly involved on Giannis. Here's Korver. Deep 3. That's good. Yeah, very difficult to defend. I thought Green, you got to trust help somewhere else than off of Kyle Korver. And Korver, his ability to spot up a couple steps behind the line was crucial in getting that one off.
I'm guessing we're going to see Montrezl Harrell pretty soon here. Because, I mean, the Clippers, you're getting into the period of time where you need to throw everything just to keep it close. I mean, because the Bucks are going to be playing their best players, or at least close to it the rest of the game. Maybe a little bit of DiVincenzo. See if this is a great time if you have any questions. Did Bledsoe think it was a drop ball in soccer? Yes, I think he did. Oh, thank you very much to Scotty516 for subscribing with Twitch Prime. That is something you can do it different from the Patreon. I mean, the Patreon, you actually get stuff like podcasts and all that, but if you have Amazon Prime already, you get free Twitch Prime subscriptions, and you can, if you want to, you can connect those two accounts and throw it to us. That's much appreciated. And if you want to be super awesome, you can do that on Twitch, even if you're watching on another primary platform. I cannot answer this question because I have not yet watched both of them. The Wire or The Sopranos?
Oh, The Wire. Not even close. I mean,
The Wire is my favorite show of all time, but I haven't watched The Sopranos.
I mean, you might argue that The Sopranos is more of an achievement, if only because it predated The Wire and it was really the first prestige TV show. But in terms of just, I mean, I think The Wire adds a social commentary element that these other shows, as good as they are, don't have. And it's just the complete lack of fluff in The Wire is amazing, right? There's no bullshit dramatic music while you wait for something to happen. There's very few annoying characters, and the ones who are annoying, it's like they're actually like real.
Well, and there's no exposition.
Yeah,
like it's a really interesting show. I know some people that have not enjoyed that part of it, and sometimes it can be hard to track. But I just liked it a lot more. I thought one of my favorite things about The Wire is how much it seems like it respects its audience, and it challenges them. And that's something that some, but not all, of the prominent TV shows since then have embraced, is that you don't have to connect every dot for them, or you don't have to like foreshadow hard or something like that. You can just make a good show.
Well, what is your number 2 favorite TV show of all time?
Probably Breaking Bad. But I have to really think about it.
I like Mad Men better than Breaking Bad.
Can I pick like just the best seasons of The Simpsons? Or do I have to?
Well,
do I have to celebrate the entire catalog?
Comedy is totally different, though. Like that, I don't even put those two in the same category.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. Best Picture for the Oscars.
No, I mean if I had like Simpsons and Seinfeld to me are much more influential on me, frankly, with like my humor and stuff, and like all the referencing that I do with my friends and stuff, than any dramatic TV show.
Yeah. Deputy does love dots, though. I nearly dropped one of those on the podcast recently.
All right, we're back here.
Trez is back in.
Shamet on the drive sets up a wide open 3 from Green, misses. Shamet looking to attack Korver off the dribble. They got what the shot they wanted, but it was not there. Bucks looking to push it to double digits. Screen roll, Bledsoe into the lane. Nice drop to Lopez, but Harrell got his hand in there and took it away. Williams looking to engage Korver, and they get the foul. Finally, Lou Williams draws one on Bledsoe. Lou going to the pump fake with effect these last couple possessions.
Williams' line so far in the game, 29 points, 8 of 22 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, and 13 of 14 now on free throws.
Back to a 7-point game. Bucks haven't been able to put it away yet. Korver, it looks like the Clippers are in a zone. DiVincenzo is wide open for 3, can't hit it. DiVincenzo is going to have to shoot better if he wants to have an NBA career. He has struggled so far. Bledsoe with a nice little spin move to get through, and they called the offensive foul on Lou Williams. Wow, let's see if he got the arm up here. I think he lowered his head or something. Let's see this. Oh,
Bledsoe! I think Bledsoe ran into his elbow with his head. I think that was Bledsoe.
Yeah, that's. I don't. I mean, it looked like he didn't really elbow him. That's a pretty normal...
I think Bledsoe went into Lou Williams and then flopped because he got hit by Lou Williams.
All right, they're gonna challenge.
I think they should win this. Honestly, Granted,
you know what?
I don't. The threshold.
I don't think they're going to. All right, should we break out the old challenge criteria here?
Woo!
All right, here we go. As quick as Google Docs can load it.
Let's see if I can get it off the top of my head. I think it's clear and conclusive. I believe that's the threshold here.
Control F.
For clear?
Clear and conclusive visual evidence is required that the call was incorrect.
Oh, that is really hard, though. I mean, because there was contact.
Yeah. Certainly if you had to say more, 50% plus 1, that shouldn't be a foul to me. But I like the challenge. Is Lou like in any kind of foul trouble at all?
No, this would become... I think that was his third.
It could be a 5th on Bledsoe if he's hit with the foul, though.
Is there a new Star Wars video game, and is that game good? Because I've been waiting for a good Star Wars game for a long time.
Yeah, so this is... Lou got him in the shoulder. It wasn't the elbow. I think the referee probably thought it was the elbow. But, I mean, he's just going in a straight line with his shoulder, and Bledsoe leans in. I think it was an unjust foul. If you wanted to really parse it and try to find something to support the call, you might be able to. In practice, they haven't necessarily done that so far, even though it's, what is it? Clear and conclusive evidence? So they could, in theory, just make this a no call. They could make it a foul on Bledsoe. That'll be interesting to see whether they do that or not.
Yeah, call it like an inadvertent whistle.
Yeah, and if it is a no call, the ball is not loose when the call is made, so it'll just be Clippers ball out of bounds. Catch you up a little bit on some other things from this game. We haven't looked at the shot charts in a while. See if there's anything of note to tell you there.
Sorry, I'm retweeting Coach Nick's video of the Eric Bledsoe thing.
So
It's all I want.
The Clippers are 11 of 26 at the rim and 9 of 14 from floater range in this game.
Well, it makes sense that the team named after boats is good from floater range.
The Bucks are 16 of 37 just on above the break threes, but 1 out of 8 on corner threes. Yeah, that's a pretty nice flop there. That view right there, we didn't see that one until now. This should get overturned. Because he doesn't, this is a total acting job. The question is, to me, whether it's a foul on Bledsoe or not.
I think there's too little contact for it to be a foul on Bledsoe, so you give him like a flop warning. If they had like the flop yellow cards like they do in soccer, you could give him that.
Did this go in, the layup that he had? They have the ability to look at it as continuation. Wish I could hear what Joe Borgia was saying here. Is Doc, they didn't win it? Oh, that is horseshit. That is really bad. Like I said, clear and conclusive is a high standard, but that's an unjust result to me. Giannis going at Green. Nice float up. That's a new one in the arsenal for Giannis. That quick one-hand speed layup off the right foot. That is some skill level right there. That's a shot that he can really use. They're running the same play they ran last time to get the open corner three, and that time Shamet goes right in. Korver got abused there, but they're sticking with Korver because he's got the shot working. Lopez handing off. They're going to go with Giannis against Harrell. Pulls up for the three. A little short that time. Clips looking to cut it to 5. Williams is deep. He's got Korver on him, and lucky kick there from Korver, and they can reset the matchup, put Bledsoe onto Lou Williams once more.
Yeah, and that was, I think refs overcall kickballs, but I think that was close enough to a deliberate action to count.
Yeah, Bledsoe actually will get a rest, and it's Hill guarding Williams now. Same action again. Korver stays in front of Shamet that time. They go to option 2. Beverly on the drive. Kicks it out. Shamet is wide open. And man, he just has not had the touch. But it bounces around. Back to Harrell. Into 3 guys. Misses it. Another miss in the paint for the Clippers. They got to get back now. Middleton going at Shamet. into the lane. Left hand is off. Giannis with the big rebound for the jam.
And Giannis nearly created a basket for himself by sprinting the floor, and instead he gets it through an offensive rebound. He just got into position, beat his guy down the floor.
Here's Williams, floats it up. That's off. Harrell can't get the rebound. Lopez controls. Now Giannis, they got the bigs behind the play. This will lead to an open three from Korver. No, he gets closed down by Beverly.
Nice job by Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, the pass just so he wasn't quite ready to shoot. Instead, it's Giannis feeling the three-pointer.
4 of 7 from Giannis in this game.
Yeah, he had the touch against the Rockets on opening night as well.
He has more points on threes than on twos in this game. He has 12 points on three-pointers and 10 points on twos. And 10 from the free throw line. So he has more from three than anywhere. Is that a first?
Not the typical shot distribution for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
But he's 2 assists short of a triple-double, so not a good game yet.
See what else we got going on here.
Yeah, I'm running through all the comments. People are talking about Breaking Bad versus The Wire. That's fun. Oh, thank you to the other people who subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's great. That's a great thing. Yeah, somebody says, been waiting for a good Star Wars game for more than a decade. Yeah, it's been a really long time.
My problem with Breaking Bad, it was just too many like crazy, unrealistic escapes, especially like in the first couple of seasons, where you're just like, all right, like they're in this impossible situation. Like, what ridiculous way are they going to get out of it this time? Like, I mean, it's a great show, but it just required like a little bit too much suspension.
It's more of a it was more of like a popcorn movie show than I think some people made it think, because like there were like, and I enjoyed it for that purpose. I also enjoy those kinds of movies.
Yeah, and also there are like some pretty annoying characters on Breaking Bad. Like The Wire, until season 5, you're never like, oh man, this is just like totally unrealistic. This would never happen. Post up for Harrell, going at Lopez. Lopez with the stop. Again, they force him to the left. They get the stop. Giannis looking to put it away here. Hands off to Korver. Korver's 3 is short. Middleton fighting for the rebound. Nothing doing there. But he gets back in good order. Beverly crossing up on Giannis. Tries to draw contact. Can't get that Chicago point guard finish. And I'm surprised he didn't get a technical with that air punch in the direction of the referee. Middleton back to goal. He's done little tonight. Double team comes from Lou Williams. And we're going to get a foul call here.
I thought you called timeout.
Nope. Foul. Yeah, Lou Williams got him on the arm.
And because they don't post team fouls, we don't know how close they are to the bonus.
Middleton trying to post Lou Williams, and Lou gets a second foul in about 3 seconds on Chris Middleton.
So someone's getting a tech in the next like 45 seconds. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody.
Yeah, I like the Bucks really trying to work these matchups now. Lou Williams has 3 fouls in about 3 minutes here. And then he gets a deflection on it. Middleton, at least he's working a little bit here.
Yeah. And then Lou Williams has 5 fouls now.
Here's Korver. Gets past Shamet. Floating jump. And it rims in off the backboard. Kyle Korver, dynamic off the dribble. Williams, floater. Starts to go awry. But Harrell is going to stay here because he got shoved in the back by Middleton.
Yeah, Middleton got beat to the position, and I mean, you could kind of do that as like the equivalent of a box out, but it was a push. I think it's a foul.
I didn't think, did he get his arm on him that much?
Not much, no. And so these are Harrell's. I believe they're his 9th and 10th free throws of the game. He's been excellent so far. More offensively than defensively, but I mean, they needed the offense.
Harrell missing the free throw. Lou continuing to work on Zach Zarba here.
And as a general rule, it's, a possession every 30 seconds. So there's about 9 possessions left for the Clippers to make up what is a 14-point margin. That's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah. Bucks going to get a timeout here in between these 2 free throws to try to induce another miss.
Steve Kerr, Luke Walton timeout.
Yeah, I think Kerr was the first to do that. Yeah, Frank Madden noting Giannis 4 of 23 from downtown in his first 7 games, 4 of 7 tonight.
Should we tell people when the next NBA cast is, and also tell me when the next NBA cast is, because I forgot.
We might have changed up. Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, because I mean, we set everything through the holidays originally, and then things happen. So the next one is going to be
Boston at Clippers. Hey, Paul George will probably be back by then.
Yeah, hopefully he will be. I mean, but November is 30 days.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
10 o'clock on Wednesday, November 20th.
Yeah.
So we're taking next week off because I will be in Japan. Taking my mom there for her 70th birthday.
That should be fantastic. You've been before, correct?
Yeah, we went on the honeymoon last year.
Yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about it.
But fear not, I will be... I've made a goal to at least watch 2 games a day on Synergy to try and end with my usual reading and Twitter scrolling. I should be able to keep
and the
up
podcast will still be airing. We've pre-recorded some stuff, and I'm going to do news updates and, maybe a little more. We'll see.
Nice job by the Clips taking away that Korver double screen. Giannis still with plenty of time. Harold trying to get into his body. Goes for the spin move. Backs in. Harold flops big time. And he's going to get the call.
And that's a way to start if you need to make up 13 points in 9 possessions.
Yeah, now watch the left elbow of Giannis here. Shoves off twice, and Harold was ready. Yeah, and that's a good call. I like the... Yeah, see, like the chicken wing, that's absolutely a foul. Here's Shamet, pick and pop on Korver. Finally, Landry Shamet gets one.
Yeah, it was 0 for 4 on threes before that.
Yeah, so Bucks need to score a few more here if they want to take this one home. Still in commanding position. Korver going to screen now for Giannis. Shamet. Lopez is in the corner, shut down by Green. Now Lopez walked on the spin move.
And again, another change of possession with no shot going up and not even the full shot clock. Eric Bledsoe coming back in, as he should.
Yeah, so this will be the closing lineup for the Bucks once Bledsoe can return. I think he's probably going to get Korver here. Williams, back to Shamet. Pick and pop again. 3 again! All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game, and maybe Bud's going to get a timeout here. It's a use it or lose it anyway. Yeah, they are, in fact, going to take it. So,
yeah,
7-point game. I thought we might be turning this off. That is not the case.
Yeah, and I mean the Bucks don't need too much here. I would say like probably 2 scores would be. You'd feel 2 scores or stops would probably be enough to do it. But they haven't had one in a little while now, and those 2 big Shamet threes. Can someone hire Mark Jackson already? I don't watch games with audio enough to feel that same need that other people do, but yeah, that'd be nice. Possible Bucks trades. That's an interesting question. A challenge for Milwaukee is that they first of all they don't have a lot of filler salary, and they also don't, because of the outstanding first round picks that they owe. It's hard for them to give up picks. I have thought, somebody pitched this, I think in a Patreon mailbag a while ago, about Bogdanovic and Ilyasova as primaries, and then obviously the Bucks would have to send sweeteners back. That's intriguing to me. Specifically Bogdanovic, not Bojan, because he's expensive.
Yeah, what do you think is their biggest need?
I would say it'd be good to have another guy who can create, maybe not create in like as an initiator, but just dribble and shoot and ideally defend a position other than point guard. I think that would be nice. And Bogdanovic ideally can do all 3 of those things, though he has a 41% true shooting so far.
Thoughts on LeBron's recent play? We actually talked about that on the 15 and 60 that
Yep.
is out tonight. The podcast
The answer is
should be out
great.
as of now. All right, we're back here. Giannis in the post against Harold. They screen away from Middleton. Now trying to get Lopez deep position. He clears out. Giannis going at JaMychal Green. Back to goal. I don't really like him back to goal. Step through.
Oh, that was filthy.
And if you're JaMychal Green, why do you fall for that move? He hasn't hit one of those turnarounds in like his whole career. Lou going through the arm. Oh, he tried to yoke it on Lopez.
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Lou is he has not won those confrontations with Brook Lopez at the rim. I'm surprised there wasn't a foul called on Middleton as Lou Williams ripped through his arm. 12 on the clock, still plenty of time for the Clippers. They get it into Harrell. Forced to the left. He goes for the floater off the glass that time. I do not believe that was intentional. Back to 7. Middleton. Bucks rearranging things. They're going to screen to get Lou Williams involved. Middleton's 3 over Beverly is way off.
And
Harrell pushes it up. Clips can cut it to 5. Lopez forcing him left again. Floats it up again. Misses. Tip. No. Rebound Lopez. Giannis kept it alive.
Lopez contests at the rim have been huge in this little close.
And they're forcing him left now. They made the adjustment. Here's Bledsoe on the drive. Beverly with the
Charge.
fake flop. And he gets it. I mean, I don't think he's in front of him enough here. I mean, that is very glancing contact. He turns his body away. Gives himself the momentum.
And it's also
Challenge.
It's also supposed to be.
Yeah, they're gonna do it.
It's also supposed to be when the player takes off. Isn't that great? And I mean, Bledsoe took off a while before, and I think that takes away. Also, I don't think this is gonna be reversed.
I give it a decent chance. Let's see it. We got to see the overhead view. That really gives you the best idea. I mean, this one. I mean, he's really going sideways. Like, it's almost even like his feet that hit him. Here, this will show us. All right, first of all, he's very close to moving still. Certainly when the gather takes place. His heel might even be over the restricted area just a bit. Yeah, I mean, that one to me shows it. The one that is like glancing contact. And that's one where, hey, if he just jumps there, Danny, I think he stops him.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I would change. One of the big benefits of changing the rule would be players would think of actual defensive ways to contest those plays instead of trying to draw a charge. Like, that's my biggest criticism of like all the Baines crap that's happened recently. He can defend, but he understands that the charge is the better use of his resources, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of call that it's got to go. First of all, he's still moving clearly, and just like Bledsoe does his absolute best to avoid him here. I mean, I think most of the contact is like the back of Bledsoe's foot. So now he made the layup, right?
Yes, he did.
But I fear that this is not going to get overturned.
That's what
Call confirmed. Montrezl Harrell, by the way, career high 33 points tonight. Switch Lou Williams. Now they're trying to get Shamet coming off a screen. Hill with the late close. Matters not. Landry Shamet. And he's got 3 3-pointers after a brutal shooting night in the last few minutes. Now it's a 4-point game. Giannis screens for Hill. Bledsoe attacking Shamet. Good help comes from Beverly. Now he goes right back at him again. Bledsoe has dominated Landry Shamet tonight. And they don't have another option on him because that option would be Lou Williams. They've got Beverly out there too, but he's got to guard Chris Middleton. Forcing Harold to his left again. That time he goes for the reverse. He does not want to finish with the left hand, but Lopez is called for the foul. He is aggrieved. And what they're going to call there, rightfully so, is the left hand of Lopez looping around the waist of Harrell. But you see, again, he's not as comfortable going to his left. I mean, he's just giving him the lefty layup off the glass there, and he doesn't want to take it.
These are just gigantic free throws for Harrell. He's been huge in this game. 33 points and misses that. That's a tough miss. Because, I mean, now it's so maximum they can cut it to is 5 points, minute and 40 left, and the Bucks obviously have the ball. So, I mean, you could still, I think you still defend for a possession or two, but it's getting close to foul time.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're at the point where you can still win it if you just get stops the rest of the way.
Yeah, then you try to get stops.
Yeah, and that's certainly the case. It's only a 2-possession game. Here's that 1-2 true trap again. Giannis going right through Shamet, throws it back out. Hill does not want to take the three, instead into the lane. They're trying to waste time. They swing it out. Bledsoe, screen from Giannis, and he misses. But right there is Hill for the putback jam. Absolutely nobody boxed him out. JaMychal Green tried to box out Giannis, and that left Hill wide open. And 7-point game with 1:20 left. This one is all but over.
But we'll stick with it because we want you to be happy. At least for one more possession. After that, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, if they don't score here, and there's another timeout. It's just the timeouts down the end that are such killers. It's like we could save like 20 minutes by ending it now. And I haven't packed yet.
Did the Clippers win the Chris Paul to Houston trade? I don't think of trades as a winner or a loser. Houston got a lot out of that. I mean, Houston very well could have won an NBA championship and wouldn't have won that championship.
I mean, they won 65 games.
Yeah, but the Clippers did better trading a potentially pending free agent superstar than I ever thought they could. And they got a lot out of it. I mean, those guys were real value for them. So yeah, I don't would they have been better if they theoretically been able to keep Chris Paul? Yeah, maybe.
So who's in that trade? Basically, you're talking about Harrell and Beverly.
And
right?
Lou Williams.
Oh, God, that's right. I forgot Lou was in that trade, too.
Yeah. And I think they got a first-round pick, too. Or maybe more than one?
I think it was a win-win. That's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
They got a first-rounder that they immediately then used to dump Jamal Crawford on the Hawks.
That's right. And also the another reason the Rockets won in that is that they created, even with all those guys going out, they had a better team than if they had cleared the space to get Chris Paul.
So this play is probably going to be for Shamet. Bledsoe knows it. He's trying to get ready to stay with him, and yeah, he's right on his back. Now they take that away. Lou Williams, he'll take the three. Hill went down. Williams hits the three. Hill got hit in the face on the screen. And I didn't see him get hit in the face. That was a massive illegal screen from Harrell, who stuck his legs out basically like twice the width of his body.
Wait, just a second. Did the Clippers just intentionally foul there? Because they did not need to intentionally foul. Or did the Bucks call a timeout?
I think they might have called timeout.
Oh, maybe the Bucks called a timeout.
Yeah, because of Hill.
Okay, that's totally fine.
I didn't see him get hit in the face. He obviously must have if he's looking this woozy.
Oh, I think I already see it swelling above his eye. Oh, I think Lou Williams' elbow caught it.
Oh, no, I think it might have been, I think it was the Harrell elbow. Let's see here. Oh, no, it was Lou Williams. You're right. Yeah, he got him. Lou got one offensive foul he didn't deserve, but then he gets away with one that he did deserve. So we're right not to go away. 4-point game still. They're in it. I'd like to see stats on how many calls actually get reversed on challenges. I presented some of those in the pod with Hollinger this week that from the G League. I don't think we've seen any yet from the NBA, though. G League and Summer League. Yeah, hopefully Hill is going to be all right, and obviously he's been a key figure for the Bucks tonight. It's the only one who can hit a three. Well, I shouldn't say that, actually. So, Giannis, Bledsoe, and Hill, and Korver. Those guys have all of their threes. Everyone else is 0 for. Middleton's 0 for 5. Lopez 0 for 3.
Ilyasova, DiVincenzo.
Yeah. Robin Lopez, don't forget him. He's missed 3 3-pointers. So those guys have all been on fire, but they're 18 out of 49 as a team. I wonder if they are going to review this for a hostile act. Like, this could maybe be a flagrant one, but they're not going to review it. It was just in the run of play. There was never a whistle. Lopez looks to get it to Giannis. They might consider intentionally fouling Giannis here in some situations. Back to goal is Middleton against Beverly. Shakes him off. Another miss. Oh,
Giannis.
Big offensive rebound, and Giannis is fouled. Good foul there, though, I think, actually, because they could have run it down to 30 seconds. Or I guess it would have been 14. They could have run it down to 40 seconds. Yeah, Hill looks like some swelling above that right eye there.
Yeah. I don't know enough about concussions to wonder if a contact that leads to that can be, but it didn't seem like it hit him too hard. It didn't seem like it jostled his head too much, just hit him at the wrong spot.
So this has been a crazy fast game, 113 possessions. So it hasn't actually been that efficient of a game despite the 124-119 score at the moment. But Giannis continuing to drain free throws tonight. Wow, JaMychal Green just crazy lane violating. But he makes another one. Big free throws from Giannis. Clips probably need a 3 here. So they screen Shamet. DiVincenzo stays with him. Now Green off of a Harrell screen steps in for the 2-point jumper. At least he made it. Back to 4.
And they have
Clippers,
no plan.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
plan
they
here.
have no plan. You're absolutely right. They're just gonna now they're gonna let him run the time down. They're gonna start pressuring up, and they do foul Giannis.
But they let 10 seconds go off the clock. They did nothing to force the Bucks into a turnover or
why? I mean, you've got that stupid 1-2-2 you've been doing all night. Why not break that out? So Giannis, 2 more big free throws coming here.
And thankfully, neither team has any timeouts left.
Oh, that's great.
See, that's the benefit of
Way short.
that's the benefit of the unsuccessful challenges. Wipe out a couple of extra timeouts.
So he really needs one more here to feel good about this. 33.7 left. Clips desperately need the 2-for-1, but they could be hard pressed to get it here with, as you mentioned, no timeouts. Big free throw. They get it in. Williams, Hill's fire went up quick for you. Puts him in the mix.
Oh,
great
nice
defense.
job by Middleton.
Yeah, great defense. Here's Shamet gonna have to go.
Oh!
2-point game. Now they're in that defense, pressuring up. Middleton.
A trap could work right here.
They get it into Bledsoe. They got to get through here. They do. Now they got to foul. 2-point game. Oh, it gets away from Giannis, but it's right to Middleton, and they have to foul him.
No, Giannis did that. That was a touch
he
pass.
actually
That was a
tip it?
touch pass. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow. that was hilarious. I was looking at the clock, so I didn't see that, and he just got rid of it so fast. This is hilarious. Whoop. He was not interested in getting
That's
fouled.
like
Now-
that. Giannis is like the best hot potato player in the NBA.
Now, that said, when you have that little confidence that you're going to throw a pass like that at the end of a game,
It did help that Middleton was wide open.
yeah, but that was like, that was just sheer terror. But all right, so this is the key free throw for Middleton. This is going to be over if he hits this with no timeouts. He does. They get it into Lou Williams. Time runs down. They got to get a 3 here. They don't. He rolls right in. Here's Green, closed down by Giannis.
Oh, what a block.
He's got to shoot that faster. They get it out to Williams. His 3 is off, and the Bucks will emerge with a 128-124 victory. Oh, wait, no, they fouled him.
Anyway,
Critical foul.
Patreon.com/Duncan LaRue is the way to support this endeavor. Subscriber-only podcast. We do a mailbag every month. We do early release podcasts when they're appropriate. We do salary cap sheets, whatever else we can think of. Sometimes text version of certain things like the rookie extension negotiations and all that. If you have a question of that, we usually put it on the Patreon. Ben does great work there, as he does for this show and everything else. You can also follow Ben.
My mic went out.
Oh,
right,
did it
right
really?
at the end. Yeah.
Ben, it's his Twitter handle, Ben_Dull, Dull. We will be back November 20th. So a little less than 2 weeks from today for exactly 2 weeks from today for Celtics at Clippers. We're just living at Staples Center broadcasted games, and we hope to see you then. Twitch Prime, if you want to do that as well, it's a great way to support it, and spread the word however you see fit. Send out tweets, tell your friends. I mean, we love doing this, and we will continue to do it. But the more people watch it, the better it is.
Bye. Got my mic fixed. Talk to you next time.